All right. All right. I think we're live for everybody watching. NFL draft. I am in a car currently.
I'm in my bed currently. He told us to find a TV. This is the only free TV in the house.
So we're watching the draft. As far as I know, the pick is in.
Pick is in.
The Titans.
Roger Goodell looking dapper as ever.
Is he walking to the podium?
Yep.
Nope, we're about to find it. This Caleb goes completely dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta do something.
That's when he exits the. Uh-oh.
You can still hear me though. So that's
I can hear you. Yeah. With the first pick in the 2025, Cam Ward.
There you go.
Cam Ward is drafted.
The pick we all kind of knew. Now everything gets weird.
Yeah, now we're getting excited.
Now nobody knows what the hell is going to happen. So Cam Ward just drafted #1 overall to the Tennessee Titans. What a time to be alive. Who would have thought? I think what is crazy about it is, like, oh, breaking news. Did anybody else just get that? Is that already happened? Or am I getting fooled on my phone there?
Oh, no. We'll never, what'd you say?
Oh, we're losing them.
We have a trade? Is there a trade?
Yes. They traded to Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Jags just traded up. That's been talked about all day. Is Jacksonville may trade up. So Jacksonville's going to probably trade up for Travis Hunter.
They got 7 minutes on the clock.
Duval County's about to get their man. Wow, that's a big trade. It shakes a lot of things up.
Actually. Well, I wonder what the details are.
We're about to find out. This is the beauty of doing a live show. Caleb literally made sure we were here before the first pick started so we could have these live reactions for y'all. So
that's what I wanted. Jerry wanted to sit around until midnight, and I'm like, no, let's go live, even though I'm in the back of a truck.
Yeah, in return, you can't hear Caleb every other word, but hey, you got to see us. You got to see us react to Cam Ward live, getting that first pick, and now the trade. Jacksonville going up here.
Jacksonville has traded. That's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And this is be huge. This is a weird draft. That's obviously I know you guys talked about it a bit.
Yeah, you weren't there. Oh, shocking.
Yeah. Hey,
we missed you dearly.
That's some work to do.
We did miss you. Some thought you'd never come back.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried you got too big time for us.
Yeah, just blame the job, not my ego.
Fair enough.
But this is a really weird draft with not very quarterback heavy. So now you're going to see a lot of teams try to fill spots, and this was already in the second pick. If it is Travis Hunter, which is I'm pretty confident it will be. Right, we're already seeing movement because there's a lot of great position players in different roles, not just franchise QBs. Probably the best QB in this draft, or at least the consensus best QB in this draft, Cam Ward, already off the board to Tennessee. I don't know how I feel about him completely as like franchise guy, but good quarterback. Fun guy to watch, if anything.
Oh, yeah.
But now is where it gets real.
When he played Florida. I mean, is this going to be like a cutout central here?
Dude, it's like I can hear you perfectly until you go to explain something, and then it cuts out.
I feel like I'm delayed too. I feel like it's like there's a delayed response.
When are you on time?
What?
Exactly.
I'm actually always on. I'm actually always on. Jerry, are you sick right now?
No, I'm just kind of here, relaxing. I'm here in my basement.
Your voice sounds a little shot.
I'm the only one in their normal spot here today, as Trev decided to take to the bedroom. Caleb, the road.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. This is a podcast that serves the people and goes out of its way, no matter where and when, to step up.
Yeah, it's a chance to have fun and be idiots.
And lay in the bed with me. Why don't you come? I'm like Mr. Rogers.
I don't think he lured people to his bed. Yeah.
You don't think all right, Bill Cosby. No, I'll get in my name.
We're just waiting for this to sit here. I feel like our Cam Ward discussion is pretty simple. He's a solid QB, but I'm a little behind. I think Trev in terms of my broadcast, so he's gonna be the one probably breaking these picks because you guys got the pick in before I did.
Did they show what the compensation
2025 second overall pick, 2024 round pick, 2025 6th round pick. That's all goes to the Jags. 2025 5th overall pick, 2025 2nd and 4th round pick, 2026 first round pick go to the Browns.
Okay.
Wow.
So they gained a first and a second. It's
Yep.
big.
That is huge. And obviously with Jacksonville, right? There's so many
the pick is in.
weird points. Here we go, Trev. We're waiting on you now.
I got you, boys. Don't worry.
Dun, 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 whatever the chime
I'm so
is.
excited. I get the fun job.
Hey,
You
don't
said
copyright
you
us,
wanted to
Caleb.
be the host.
Yeah, I'm the hostess with the mostest. All right.
I honestly cannot believe that they traded him for him. But
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Adam Schefter looked excited. Adam Schefter's got a bit of like a sweatshirt thing going on here.
Yeah, I
Adam
saw a
Schefter's
picture on Twitter.
outfit.
It's real bad, real ugly.
He's got a lot going on there.
He does got a lot going on. It might
None of it
be a
good.
bit of a faux pas.
Also, what did you guys think about Pete Carroll like giving out these tweets? Like he's giving out little tweets,
Love it.
like hints of like.
I love it.
He hasn't used
Especially
Twitter in
this
like
draft.
years. Now,
Dude, I'll pick up for Caleb here as he kind of dies
nobody
out
knows
here.
what's gonna happen.
I love it because, especially again, I know you guys talked about a bit in this draft. When you don't have all these great quarterbacks, everybody, where you go, you can go so many different routes. There's a lot of talented, players still here. So for Pete Carroll to just kind of be like a college coach when you get a recruit and you can't say the recruit that you got, but they either have the video or they drop like a little hint, right? That's fun, especially for now the oldest head coach, if not one of the oldest head coaches in the NFL, to be dropping tweets like you got a 5-star kid out of pick whatever part of the country. Amazing. But we are waiting here. The Jags pick is in. Trev gets to break that news as I see Adam Schefter.
Well, they're showing a lot of Travis Hunter.
Well, he was the consensus guy in terms of best prospect overall. Cam Ward's just your best quarterback, so he won the first overall pick.
I'm pretty high on Abdul Carter.
I like the dual Carter.
No, both. Again, it depends where they go. I think the vibes tell you Travis Hunter, right? But this is.
All right, let's see here. All right, Goodell is coming to the podium. Huge trade being made. Who is this guy? You guys want to do a drum roll?
I don't know if people can hear me or not.
This drum roll might go a little long.
Yeah,
they're doing the Walter Payton Man of the Year thing right now. Hold your drum roll. Presented by Nationwide recognizes one player.
An insurance company telling you the man of the year. Oh, there you go. Love that. But no, this is. I really think this is setting the tone here as we get through the awards. Do our award stuff, right? But an early trade up, right? And also the Browns have a lot of things they need to address. They need talent, but they also believe, right? We've talked a lot about what the Jags are doing here. If we think it's Travis Hunter, right? But they believe the guy that they're going for, they can move down for, and get some value in return. So it's like, I love these types of drafts where you don't have the 4 million quarterbacks because this chaos starts happening. Because it's like, oh yeah, we can pick who you think the Browns are going to get at this spot, or we can get more value here. And in return, right, the Jaguars might be sitting there going, we just got the guy we wanted. We didn't have to give up that much. So this is exciting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of right answers for a lot of teams. It's not so cut and dry about what they're going to grab.
I'm watching this Walter Payton Man of the Year thing. Come on.
All right. I think he's doing it.
Who just wanted here? Eric Armstead just dropped a Duval. So we got that going for us.
All right.
Yeah, see a cute little ticker at the bottom there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, this man's in the car updating tickers.
Travis Hunter.
There you go.
Travis Hunter, yep. Wow.
What a trade. What a move.
Oh, he's dancing.
He's in a pink suit. Am I correct?
Yeah, and a pink suit, yep.
Wow. What a I'm not as shocked by the pick per se to see Travis Hunter go second overall, but to see the Jags move up to get him, that's a lot of faith. It doesn't seem like the Jags right under was it Liam Cohen now being the head coach that they're trying to do something new. You have pieces there. I heard a little bit of Genty possibly in the backfield, stuff like that, but they're putting their faith in a guy who wants to do both. And if there's any place that he could thrive, I think it's a place like Jacksonville that needs the help. And a guy like Liam Cohen, who will be experimental. His offenses have been very good, right, as an OC, bounced around the SEC before coming to the pros. So it'll be very interesting to see how Travis Hunter adapts if he stays two positions for multiple periods of time. I think that's a big question facing him. I think he's a better cornerback than he is a wide receiver, right? But if you believe that he could do both, or can be a really good gadget guy, just because he's such a great athlete, this could be a great pick for an offensive-minded coach, just like Liam Cohen. And then if he doesn't work on the offensive end, I think he's arguably the best cornerback in this draft anyways. So you can be doing worse for yourself.
Yeah. I what do you guys think the chances are that he really does play both sides of the ball, like, consistently?
Probably 70-30. I think people want him to play more offense than corner, even though he's probably a better corner than he is wide receiver. But I think the Jags drafted him to play wide receiver. I think that's what the Browns wanted to do as well. Is they wanted him to major in wide receiver, minor in cornerback.
Yeah, I think like Jerry said, with an offensive-minded coach, I have a hard time seeing him playing a whole bunch of corner, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting because the talk was like Liam Cohen was looking for his Mike Evans, and he maybe just got him.
Yeah. Well, the Giants already have 3 minutes on the clock, so we'll be getting that pick here soon. I'm pretty sure.
Or it's a trade. I mean, it would be interesting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the Giants are going to go Abdul Carter here, but we'll see.
I mean, I would think unless they're going to trade it out. Which, I mean, I'd love it the Bears trade it out. And got Abdul Carter. That'd be great.
That'd be
Chances
awesome.
of that happening probably slim to none. But did we lose Jerry?
He's just fooling around.
He's goofing. For anybody that's watching, we are currently live for the draft. I am in the back of a car on my way up north.
The job never stops. I just got a news tip that I had to go on mute for there.
What's happening in the dirty
you got a car
Louis?
chase that I just got alerted of, so I had to pass that forward.
Cool.
So yeah, no, that is watching the job happen in real time. So I apologize for the.
No, that's all right. Well,
and
the Giants pick is
if I could share my screen, I'd do like what Troy Dan does. Every time there's a car chase, he pulls it up on his screen.
Oh, that would be great, dude. Granted, we don't have helicopters out here in St. Louis like the TV choppers, to have that as much fun to watch them live. But yeah, I was just getting a quick tip there, so I had to pass some things along. That's how much fun, and that's what happens when you do a live show just like this. You get trades, you get breakdown analysis, and you get news tips in parts of the St. Louis region, because that's what you tuned in for.
There may not be a football team in St. Louis, but there's a car chase.
There's always speed here. You know what? You can find speed. The intangibles.
There's no helicopter, but they put Jerry in a car, and he's got a pole alongside the car chase guy.
Well, the crazy part is they said it was a guy who has like red curly hair and a mustache almost. Like that's the person that's going really fast here. I couldn't tell you who it was.
State of Michigan, so that's great.
Yeah, but hopefully I didn't miss too much, as we obviously are probably still talking about Travis Hunter. But now we move to the third pick, which again Trevor gets the honor as we kind of divvy up our responsibilities.
The pick is in.
There we go. And this feels like the Abdul Carter pick, right?
I agree.
Yeah, I think Abdul Carter. I think it will. I mean, they'll have Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. How do you stop?
Yeah, I would be very surprised if we don't see Abdul Carter here.
And just the Giants are in a really weird spot with Dable, right? I feel like this is another, obviously with these early teams, you're in the top of the draft for a reason. So every team has places you can fix, things you can move, right? You could debate if you think Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter is your number one overall prospect. I think Abdul Carter impressed me so much when he played Penn State Notre Dame, basically on one arm, and still thrashed through that offensive line. It made significant plays. But for the Giants, what I'm very just interested in is you have some talent here. It's kind of hiding in different pockets, but it doesn't feel like it's really coordinated. A guy like Abdul Carter could really make that defense take that step forward and start giving them an identity again. But with Dable, or Dabble, however you want to say it, right, he's more of an offensive guy. I think of him as a guy
Abdul Carter,
quarterback whisperer, but instead
Abdul
they're
Carter.
taking Carter. James
Abdul
Franklin's going to
Carter.
have to drive a long way to make another social media video of this guy getting drafted here. So, not a shocking third pick here. Things have been both chaotic, but make sense, I think, in these first three.
I'm now getting to some comments. Nolan has yet to change his profile picture.
Hey, let Nolan be.
What a shake-up. I think he said something about the AFC South. What he said? AFC South making moves. Colts will not be. Probably not. I know Nolan's going to get into this later, which will lose us a viewer, which will suck, but that's what we have to do. But breaking news, Abdul Carter drafted by the Giants.
Yeah, I think I was pretty positive he was going to go here, and I think that's a really good pick for the Giants. That defense is already, that line's already decent, so throw this guy out there. I think they'll be pretty special defensively. Still some question marks, though. I honestly think maybe towards the end of the first round, we might see them trade.
Trade back up. Jackson Dart.
Yeah, get Jackson Dart.
I guess they're mad in their room that got out, that they really liked him. I feel like that's been out for like a month that they've liked him.
Right.
Well, that's quarterback.
Because there's
we did the all pause. That was fun. Wow. We all talked over each other and all paused. But, with all these quarterbacks, you have something that feels very obviously bad, right? Like Shedeur has his own level of issues, right? Jackson Dart has his own level of issues. Tyler Show, you pick your guy. So I'm curious to see who becomes QB2. I know it feels like Shedeur Sanders, but a guy like Jackson Dart, who I think the big knock on him is that he played in that go-go gadget offense of Lane Kiffin, which is fun to watch in college, but does not translate necessarily well. Look at Matt Corral, right? To see how that plays through here. So that's something I'm definitely keeping an eye on. And right now, one of the things I'm really curious about is with New England on the clock as we move to 4 here, right? Who they go with. This is another pick that was supposedly going to be rumored to push down a little bit. What does Mike Vrabel do here at this 4th overall spot? Where do the Pats go? Because I think they do trust their QB, right? So now you can kind of get pieces together. But this is a pick that a lot of people started saying, oh, they can move down. Maybe the Bears move up, not to just push Bears propaganda, right? But kind of the race for Genty, which has been something that made a lot of social media waves, may mean nothing, right? But who goes here? Now we start to get into the weird spots because there's a lot of different really good prospects. But no one really stands out to me as you have to grab them, like an Abdul Carter or a Travis Hunter. So it's kind of who you like on your board, which we don't have that every year. It feels like you get very quarterback heavy some years. So now we're looking at, I want to really see where New England goes with this. It doesn't look like they're going to move on this pick because the pick is in. But where they go, and will they go for a running back in the top 5? Do they go offensive tackle like a guy like Membu? This is where things get real weird real fast because I don't really think there's a number 4 guy or, oh my God, you have to take him at 4 because he's still on the board.
Well, I think people really love Will Campbell out of LSU, and he has small arms, so that's a struggle. And so that scared some people away, I think. Membu, Jerry, that's all you. I don't know anything about the Mizzou football program like you do. You have sources in there, I'm sure, in the locker room, probably lighting it up. You know all about the Missouri life. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I expect them to go offensive lineman unless they trade it.
Per my ESPN app, which I also have on top of the draft broadcast itself to see if we see anything really cool, the pick is in for New England. I haven't seen any signals of a trade right now.
Wow, Trevor, you're slacking.
I haven't seen the pick is in one time on this TV. They're at commercial right now.
That's what my app's telling me. The app could also be wrong. But again, like a team like New England, especially under Vrabel, a lot of questions. But if you want to talk about a fan base, I think is very excited for the next couple of years. It's the team like the Pats who got their guy as head coach. You want to bring back the Belichick ways, those Belichick Brady days, and that's not obviously a guarantee by getting a guy like Vrabel, but with the same vibes as a Belichick in terms of we're going to be tough, we're going to talk to the media a certain way, we're going to run our operation a certain way, right? Get back to the Patriot way, take it for what you will. I think this is a fan base that's very excited. This pick here can go a lot of different places, but we're going to see what Vrabel really values because he wasn't left that much, right? But there's a lot of different spots here. According to ESPN, Genty is actually supposedly, so take this for what you will, maybe Mel Kiper, who's always right at every turn, right? Ashton Genty's the best player still available, right? But this is, again, where I go back to my same point. We'll probably talk about it a lot. Is he really, on the Patriots board, the best guy compared to Cleveland, who picks right after now with our first-round shakeup? So, lot to wait on here. The first couple of picks, we have our Jacksonville going through, moving up to take Travis Hunter second. Cam Ward, your obvious first-round pick. And then Abdul Carter going third. So, it seems like, that second move is something that we'll definitely talk about a lot on the first couple weeks of the season. Your immediate draft grades, especially depend. I'm really curious to see who Cleveland moved down for. Thinking that they could get in pick 5 instead of the second overall pick. So we play a little bit of the waiting game as these first 3 picks have gone through, and we wait for the ESPN broadcast making so much money as we have to play it on mute to not get copyrighted.
Yeah, I already know. I already know the pick, so I'm not going to spoil it.
What is happening?
Trevor, you have to turn a light on because
you look like me back in the day.
Yeah, you're looking a little dark. I already know who they picked, so
you get to break the news. Congratulations!
Go ahead.
I looked on Twitter. It's Will Campbell from LSU.
I've been 4 for 4, boy. Well, actually, I guess Cleveland to trade the pick.
Ooh, did we get an Adam Schefter tweet where he doesn't say they selected them, but has to use every other verb or adjective to describe the action of picking?
No, it's Pro Football. It's Pro Football Talk or Pro Football Focus.
No, PFF. Makes sense for Will Campbell, right? We were talking about just a couple minutes ago at LSU. Did a very, very good job, even for an LSU team that, in some people's minds, disappointed a bit. The small arms comp is going to always be the complaint, the concern, right? But that's also, I think, sometimes people think they know ball and they don't. Where it's like, oh my God, the guy's arm's a little small, but he still had a fantastic season in one of the best football conferences in America. So, it's hard for me to really put away the fact his arms might be a little bit below average in terms of length to tell me that he's not going to be a top 5 pick. I'm curious to see where Cleveland now goes because this kind of felt like who do you move, like a reactionary 5th pick, but they're somewhat confident that they're going to get whoever they wanted here. As now Kayla has left the car, and look at this beautiful background.
Wow.
Man, the green screen goes crazy, man.
I'm in northern Michigan, so yeah, this is where I'm at.
Just hiding out
Will
UP.
Campbell. Will Campbell.
Wow, it's almost like I just said that. That's crazy. No, I think we're going to get food, so I will be in a restaurant for this. Hopefully they have a TV.
I think that the Cleveland is either going to go.
I think they're going to go. They're going to go offensive lineman.
Oh, you think so? I was
That's
going
what I
to say either
think
Ashton Genty or Mason Graham.
That's what I think is going to happen.
My Mizzou Homer friends are already telling me that Will Campbell is worse than Membu, so that's going to be a talking point. But I really don't. I think it kind of was a little bit of a preference pick. Both those guys in the offensive line are very solid. And now we're getting – I might just be quiet and let Caleb's natural sound take us through as we go to a northern Michigan restaurant on this fine draft Thursday. Nice suit by Will Campbell in the green. Looks solid.
Yeah.
Great interview, by the way, too. He's talking about if we give up too many sacks for working at Walmart. Nothing against the people working at Walmart. And I'm like, I love that. But that also kind of just feels very Patriot. I would say smart. Will Campbell is a great prospect, and a great overall player for the times he's for that time at LSU. Safe, and you don't have to be super duper aggressive, but to protect a guy like Drake May, who you believe in, you got to get the pieces around him. So I think there's a little bit of a feels pick. Did you like Bembu because he's kind of like number 2 on a lot of people's boards over a guy like Will Campbell? And that's Mike Vrabel's decision to go with a guy like Will Campbell. I'm not smart enough football-wise to tell you who's better. I really don't want to act like I had my bag's that deep where I'm going through offensive line play. But I wonder if that's also one of those guys that maybe just interviewed better, kind of fits that system, fits that way that Vrabel's supposed to bring back, which, by the way, wasn't that serious. He's like, yeah, if you're going to be late, call.
Yeah.
Hey, that's man. Like,
yes, sir.
Like, it's like, be respectful. All right. What is it? You go to Cleveland and they're like, man, I hate this staff. I hate all of you. Like, in constant disrespect. All right. What do we think Caleb's ordering right now for a drink? All right. I know we got some water. I know, got to make sure he's hydrated. But this is like kind of my second favorite thing. Is he getting a Coke or going beer?
I ordered an adult beverage.
Oh, okay. So are we going beer? Are we going mixed drink? Right? God, I wish I had the live odds here. This is something I live for.
He's probably getting like Bud Light or something. No, he's not getting Bud Light.
I don't drink Bud Light. Hey, support Anheuser-Busch. That's drinking local over here. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
He's going to get...
No, I'm...
Henry, put my tab on there too, will you?
You know what? It's a White Claw, isn't it?
Oh, Claws. No laws while you're drinking Claws in the UP, baby.
Or the Good Dudes, or what are they?
Happy Dad?
Happy Dad. No, what is it? Yeah, maybe it is Happy Dad. He was drinking something at the bar, and I cannot remember what it was.
He's being a good man drinking a Budweiser.
No, there's no way. Yeah, definitely.
Supposedly Cleveland is picked, according to my ESPN app. Caleb will try to overscoop us as yours is appetizer.
The pick is in. What do you think he's gonna get for appetizer? Mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, with the type of area we're in here, that's definitely an option. A fried pickle could be a little bit. I'm trying to think here. Like, what are you going out there? But I think mozzarella sticks kind of in almost every restaurant ever in America. You're going to be solid, right?
Yeah.
Miller. There you
go. Okay.
Bang!
The underdog.
Oh
my
wow.
Gosh. They take so long to tell us who is getting picked.
It's a TV show. Remember, it's a TV show.
They milk it.
Hey, as a guy who works for TV, I get it. Hey, man.
They're milking it.
Watch local so I can keep my job. Yeah. I'm literally taking live tips on the broadcast here. Come on, guys. We work hard for you. Caleb's gone completely dark. He had a sip of Miller Lite, and we've lost him completely. And now he's back.
So he's looking at the menu.
Are we going burger? Are we going to switch a little bit? That feels like a classic. If you don't know, and I don't know how well they know the area. This might be the stop you go every time if he goes up north, right? Or is this point? Right? A lot of questions here as we look at looks like they're playing chess on the ceiling over there.
Yeah. Rook to H4.
Yeah, Caleb plays chess, not checkers. That's how he rocks.
That's how he's always rolled.
Yeah, smartest guy in the room, according to Caleb. So let's keep, we're going to keep rocking here. Now, Cleveland thinks they're the smartest group in the NFL, moving down to see who they get for this 5th pick, right? First major shakeup of the draft. If you take, unless you say Will Campbell's also a big deal, but that kind of is like a flip pick.
Yeah.
One of the guys still on the board here that I could see them going with, but I'm not sure they would be an Ashton Genty. I keep playing him up because he got a lot of hype, but I'm really curious to see how far he falls. Ooh, I have the pick on my screen.
Mason Graham.
There you go. Defensive tackle from Michigan.
Tackle.
Wow. Again, another solid, but maybe not sexy pick, which I think a lot of this top 10 is going to be. We've kind of gone through the real sexy top line prospects. And these guys are also obviously very good. I'm not acting like Mason Graham's a major reach. by any way, shape, or form. But is this they thought they can move down for a guy like him. So I'm excited for Cleveland in that sense that they got a guy they're very happy with to move down a couple pieces to do it. That also means they weren't that high in Travis Hunter.
Mason Graham drafted victim. I walked away. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a fight in this part that I'm in.
What are you doing over there?
I walked away because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a fight. I don't know what's gonna come out of these people's mouths.
Caleb, run for safety.
I'm fine.
Run, hide, fight. Oh my god, I like this. And Caleb's he's updating the ticker here as he tries to avoid punches in a northern Michigan
But I do
bar.
at work all the time. I need to figure out if they have Wi-Fi.
This man's doing it off his data. He's willing to get swung on.
I have unlimited data, so point of the world now.
Man, committed.
It's actually running pretty well.
Yeah, we can see the checker from here.
Until my phone dies.
Oh, yeah.
It's at 59%. Oh, this is like the music part. Oh, taxidermy. No, I'll talk about Mason Graham. I like Mason Graham a lot. He's one of my guys I really like. Some would say we look alike. Who knows? I really like him. I think he's a solid pick. If I'm Cleveland, I'm happy with trading back, getting the defensive lineman, which they probably needed more than Travis Hunter, I would say. To me, the Travis Hunter thing is tough because it's like in a normal draft, would you trade up that to 2 for a wide receiver and or a corner?
It's very boom or bust. It is so boom or bust.
That's what I think is tough with that. So if you're Cleveland, I mean, this is probably the smartest thing Cleveland's done in their history as a franchise.
Well, they haven't moved on from Stefanski, right? They're still
he's a good coach. I mean, they just need a quarterback.
And they've had good defenses in the past. They've been pretty solid in that aspect. So to add on to that with a guy who's very talented, who did really well at Michigan, and I think last year's Michigan team being very mid kind of pushes him down in people's minds. But he was a star player on this fine team. As we look at the taxidermy live here from northern Michigan, are we UP or just northern Michigan, Caleb?
Just south. Just south.
Just south of the UP.
Am I the only one that gets kind of creeped out by taxidermy? Like.
Hey, you're supposed to be a country boy from Cassopolis. This is supposed to be nothing new here, brother.
Jerry, you don't know nothing about Cassopolis if you think country is the word.
Come on, brother. You're supposed to be a deer in your backyard.
No, that's Marcellus.
Yeah, that's true.
Martucky, some would call.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I will say, I was on the other side of the room, and it doesn't, like when you're in this part that I'm in now where everybody is, it does not look like there's a cloud of smoke. And there's just like a cloud of smoke. We're in the opposite room of where you're at.
So you're in the smoking section.
I didn't know that was still a thing. But so the Raiders are on the clock, right?
Yes, you have the Raiders right now. They have not told me the picks in. They still have, according to my ESPN app, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, roughly. A team that needs some offensive help here, big time, was rumored that.
Yeah,
this could be a Genty move here.
I hope it's Ashton Genty because I do not want the Bears to take Ashton Genty.
Well, let's see here. The pick is in, so we'll have to wait 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes for it.
I could be part of the anomaly, but that's just what I think.
I don't hate that take. Genty to me is very hit or miss. He was so good out of Boise State, worthy Heisman contender. Didn't really show in their playoff game, but also that's a back and forth where the whole operation was stop Ashton Genty. There's only so many guys who can beat that, especially at a G5 school. He has all the tools and tangibles, a little short, but not too bad, right? But I feel like
pick his in, break
Ashton Genty. Yeah,
Ashton Genty. Thank
there
God.
you go.
I want the Bears to get him.
That is a fun pick, and that's the one now.
It's great. I love it. It's maybe the best pick of the draft because I did not want the Bears to take it.
I like him there. I'm very curious to see how the big boy smart football people talk about a running back going in the top 10, right?
Well, Saquon Barkley has kind of ruined it for everybody. So that's going to be the problem is people are going to forget that, one, they're not Saquon Barkley, and two, they don't have the offensive line that Saquon Barkley.
I think the other guy that people talk a lot about with this in mind also, Bijan Robinson, right? High draft pick, just done very well in his few years in the league. Granted, in Atlanta, they haven't been fantastic, right? But he's put up his numbers. He's done everything that's been promised. I really feel from him as a high pick. And yeah, it's how much of the Saquon Barkley effect is there. Obviously, that's going to skew things right now. It's hot because he was so good. But I wonder how, I also look at a team like Detroit this year was very good running the ball. Yes, they have that air raidish, almost offensive felt like with Ben Johnson at times, but the key core of that was a good offensive line and good run play if you split your backs, right? So you have a lot of these teams who were solid on the ground. The Chiefs, not bad on the ground with Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. So I don't know how that will translate overall with a guy like Genty, because you have to build, what is he going to look like against the top of the top? Obviously, he dominated in the collegiate level to very impressive numbers, and the offense was built around him. And there's still some games where he was just better, right? Fun highlight tape. If you ever you want to cut film, that's the guy you cut for fun. But where do well, also, what other pieces do the Raiders have to help him and make a competent offense? But that's kind of the questions. I'm going to see how they're going to address this later, right? Because that quarterback there, it's Geno now too. So you're going to put Geno and Genty together. Pete Carroll, who's had success with running backs in the past. It's very interesting. But that's going to be, I think, one of the looming questions is having a running back go in the top 10, and especially for our college football heads. It's fun to see a G5 guy go in the top 10. That's awesome. But I think that's going to be the big question coming out of tonight was that value there? Is it worth it to take that high? We won't get that answer until later this season. But congratulations to him. I hope he thrives because I've loved him as a player. I hope he does well. He's a fun dude. Fun guy to watch. Now we move on to a team that's had enough fun this offseason. Let's start talking about the Jets. Jets. We're not talking about Winnipeg, who's in town right now in St. Louis, right? We were talking about the New York Football Jets. Where do they go? This is a team that has so
I
weird.
don't know where the Jets go, but I am going to take a quick break off of this so I can charge my phone a little bit, and I will return.
You better hope we're still doing it by then. You really better.
Hopefully you guys are still on. Let me know if you guys are still live. And then I may have to come back on. But I need to charge my phone. So
Man.
I will become a viewer. Can you guys do comments? Is that a thing? Can you guys do that?
I think so.
I don't know. I've never seen them until you pulled them up.
Well, Caleb, our fearless leader is moving on to charge his phone for a bit. Me and Trevor are going to man the helm here for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's, 1 week I'm not here, the other week Caleb's not here. We're a bunch of utility players. We keep moving forward no matter what.
All right,
Caleb,
I'm getting off.
Getting
off now.
All right,
we'll miss you, my friend.
All right, well, this is our show now.
Yeah, this is, oh my God, we have so much power.
Yeah, we say whatever we want, and we do whatever we want now.
And we're on Caleb's Facebook right now. We can do some really incriminating things. Oh, Lord. Oh, my favorite part is Caleb's mug is still on the screen because I don't know if he'll let us boot him out or anything. Oh, that's amazing. So we just have frozen Caleb.
Yeah, I want that to stay there.
I do too. I am so glad this is not moving forward.
It feels like he's still kind of here.
He's here in spirit. I hope he joins the live stream and just kind of sees his face still there and is just wildly confused. Oh, my Lord. The Jets do have their pick in as we go to commercial on my broadcast. Very curious where they go because there's so many different places you could kind of attack as we've now actually lost Caleb officially. So me and Trevor are sharing the split screen. It was fun while it lasted, right?
Yeah,
do you go with a guy like Jalen Walker? Do you go offensively? Do you go Tyler Warren, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Tyler Warren pick would be very interesting to me. He obviously ran the Penn State offense and is a freak athlete. He kind of gives me old Patriots tight end vibes of tall, lanky white guy who is sneaky athletic. Think you're Gronk, young Gronk, even Aaron Hernandez, right? Not as extremely athletic as a guy like Kyle Pitts, who is like, oh my God, he could be a receiver maybe, right? But they used him so many different ways at Penn State. Do they go there? Do you address the defense, which has been one of your strong suits, right? Guys like Sauce Gardner on that side of the ball. And also you still have quarterback woes. I don't think they go QB. I don't see why they would. It would be amazing to watch Shedeur Sanders go here and have the New York media just
Yeah,
absolutely eat that up.
that'd be great television.
But as we move here, I don't know if I can highlight comments, but Mark Nolan's asking me and you, Trev, to give the Bears pick prediction. It's either going to be for me. I think it's going to be Membu. If he doesn't get sworn out ahead of time, drafted ahead of time. The Bears' big thing last year, right, was the offensive line. Offensive line struggles, and while Caleb Williams at times didn't like throwing the ball, didn't help when you have an offensive line that isn't good. And obviously they beefed up on it a lot, getting Tooney and so many other pieces. But I could see them trying to stay young, especially with a lot of the guys they signed and brought in on either like a 1 or 2 year deal, a little bit older, more experienced to kind of balance out your offensive line. I feel like that's their move here, especially Genty off the board. And then if you can also swing, if you're the Bears, because you have other draft capital, to maybe sneak up into the later part of the round and go for like a receiver or somewhere else in between. My guess is a guy like Membu or an offensive tackle for the Bears at 10. But we got to see where these other teams go. That's part of the fun. But I don't think they go like a Fandon Jr. or anywhere else. I think they stick to the offensive line, barring any crazy moves. Trev, any other major takeaways there?
Yeah, I think I agree with Membu. I think their offensive line was their glaring issue last year. And I think Membu is probably the best offensive lineman left. I think Will Thompson was the best. And I think Membu is the next guy. And yeah, if I was the Bears, I'd be throwing everything into, because you can see with Dallas probably about 10 years ago, the Colts, the Eagles now, how much success you can get with a really good offensive line. And especially if, Caleb Williams is your guy. And that was just the glaring issue. He had no protection. The pick is in. Roger Goodell's announcing it.
Who are we moving with here on the Jets? It is Membu. As we talk about him, he moves in.
Wow.
Interesting. I'm not surprised he went here.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that it was the Jets who took him here.
Yeah.
Because again, that glaring question to me is offensively, there's a lot going on. But also there isn't too many. The things is that you don't have too many guys that feel like the seventh pick. A guy like Membu, you can really make that argument for. But if you reach for a receiver, if you reach for, another running back or anything, you kind of start going, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious here about that. Pick does not shock me. Membu works real well. And obviously, of course, we start spewing his glory. The people of New York listening in,
Yes.
They looked at the college football ratings on Membu and they're like, yep, that's our guy.
Yeah.
That was the move here.
Now Carolina's pick is already in.
Yeah,
they
moved
must
quick.
have they knew who they were getting.
And that's what I love that. I really do love what they can do. Just get it done quickly here. But that also means whoever with Membu's pick, they went, all right, that's our guy. So that's all. This is something where I'm very curious to see where they go, right? We need some help defensively here in Carolina. How much do you believe in Bryce Young's $1 million question as well? I don't know if they'll go super offensive heavy. A lot of great defensive players left. Do you go like a linebacker again, like a Jalen Walker from Georgia? You talk about the Eagles with success, drafting the offensive line. How about you just draft Georgia? That was the running gag that worked very, very well, for the Eagles. So you want to pick up from a team that just won the Super Bowl. You may not get Saquon Barkley, but you could draft from the University of Georgia, which has been Alabama light, I would say, at least in terms of professional development.
Yeah.
And getting guys to the league, especially a guy like Kirby Smart defensively. You get those guys. They are so well prepared for the next level. Granted, they all go to Philadelphia, so A might just equal B here, but that wouldn't shock me if you go there. But we have a lot of defensive picks here early, which I don't think is bad. You have a lot of teams here that are struggling on both sides of the ball. That's why we're here, right? Don't worry, the Bears will do much better. They're 2 picks away now. So, but these are guys that will definitely, I think, will make a lot of impacts. But you can kind of go wherever you want. Do you want the best guy at, best corners off the board, in my opinion, right? So do you want the second best corner? Do you want a defensive back? I don't know if you start digging into receivers yet. I don't know.
No.
That's kind of in my, one of the things recently, as the Membu tapes on, so I'm watching kind of the Mizzou guys, right? One of the guys I obviously am keeping a big eye on is Luther Burden, right? Seeing where he falls, if he ends up in the first round or not. The receiver classes, it feels like with the receivers nowadays, there's so many good ones, you can kind of get them later and get away with it.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of in the same world. There isn't that one standout guy like a Malik Neighbors, at least this year. But yeah, I am waiting here for Carolina to officially put their pick is in, but for us to officially see where we go from here. Happy to see a Mizzou Tiger go in the top 10 personally. We love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
We really do love that. Keeps our streak of having guys in the pros going, which for an SEC school doesn't sound like a lot, but this is what we do. Oh my God, my board moved here, but it didn't change who tell me who the pick was. So I'm looking here at my ESPN app, and it's like, oh, it jumped. I'm like, oh, here we go. We got it. We got a pick.
Yeah, I think it's
got
going to be Jalen Walker. I'm pretty positive. I think it's hard, man, when you get to these positions where you have a guy that could be an elite pass rusher, and to not get them. And again, kind of like the offensive line thing. If we look at the past, the Bosa's, Myles Garrett, guys like that, or even Josh Sweat or whatever this past year. It really is such a difference maker. Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
When you got these guys that are coming off the edge and just making like huge plays, I think that's another it's turning into a must-have position now. You have to have. I think there's some teams that are getting two guys,
Mm-hmm.
that are dominant at their position, specifically edge rushing. So I think Jalen Walker's going to go here. I think you can't pass up a great pass rusher. And like you said, Georgia's kind of on a hot streak. And like you said, A could just equal B with the Eagles. But I think Jalen Walker's going to go here. I think they're going to get a good pass rusher. I guess we can look a little bit into the future. What do you think about New Orleans? So I had New Orleans taking Shedeur. But I saw before the draft started, they don't want to overreach on a quarterback. So they were planning on taking, somebody else. I know it's kind of hard to plan who they're going to take without seeing the pick before them come in. But, I mean, if Jalen Walker doesn't go here, I could see him going to New Orleans,
The Saints like taking these types of splashes. They could be very aggressive in the draft, kind of hit or miss, right? I just don't. It feels like the Shedeur hype died aggressively and very, very quickly. So maybe that was all facade and teams trying to push him down. Maybe we don't like him, no one likes him, and then boom, he goes top 10. And everyone's like, wow, right? Depends who you listen to, depends who it goes, right? But the sentiment wasn't great. I'm very curious to see how they approach this because they could use some help at wide receiver too. And we just talked about how the wide receiver class is not that deep. But that wouldn't be a bad jump for them to go. Shout out Caleb. Caleb has joined us, but he's not joining us as Caleb. It's really Caleb because the real chapstick baby. We cannot highlight his comment because he has left us alone on our islands here far, far away. Talking about how the Jets finally get a tackle after Aaron Rodgers leaves. Don't worry, they still won't get a quarterback. Because Jets, that's I don't know. But that makes sense for them to do. But yeah, as we wait for I'm getting Jeopardy ads. That's great.
Goodell is walking up to the podium.
All right. This is what we've been waiting for here.
Yeah.
Come on, Roger Goodell. Break this down for us so we can start talking about New Orleans. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Teteroa McMillan from Arizona.
Wow. That is
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, they must believe. This pick to me signals they believe more in Bryce Young than I think a lot of people do. And Bryce Young in that second half of the season did have a resurgence. We got to give credit where credit's due. He started playing like the quarterback they drafted him to be. I'm not acting like he's a top 5 or even top 10 guy right now, but he started to finally show signs of being a better first-round quarterback. But that also, wow. McMillan's a very, very good receiver. He got buried in an Arizona team that did not play that well. They had a lot of expectations coming in and just kind of fell flat. But McMillan was the number one guy, and it was by a mile. Noah Filo is the quarterback there. It was either McMillan or I don't know. And that's more of a compliment to McMillan than anything else because he
Right.
would get some. And his stats are insane for that reason, but also he is just a playmaker. So I see the vision here. Is it maybe a little bit of a jump? Maybe, but he's a baller, and he's one of those guys that's so fun to watch. And again, even for an Arizona team that thing kind of stuck 6-6, kind of fell out of contention, and now the Big 12. God, I won't get used to that. Will move there. That's wow. Like ESPN's throwing up the stats here. He had over 3,000 yards, most in Arizona history. Right.
Yep.
Well deserving All-American first team. He's a dude. He's a player. I
Well,
think he's a player.
I think another crazy thing is this guy's 6'5".
Yeah.
He's a huge, like red zone threat. But I like what you said earlier, Jerry. This is like showing that Carolina is going to stick with Love. Like there is no question about that now. I think if they went, defense, maybe it's just like this might be our favorite guy, so we're going to go with them. But it's like they're actively building and giving weapons to Bryce Love. So, I mean, I don't dislike this pick at all. I am just kind of surprised.
Yeah, it tells you more.
I think I had him going at like 15 or 16 or something like that, which isn't like a huge reach. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he's going to have a great season. I'm kind of flabbergasted. That really surprised me.
No, again, it really signals a belief in Bryce Young and also New Orleans. As soon as we remember,
I said Love. I said
you're
Love.
Good. Yeah, we're gonna let you. You're thinking of Jordan Love. It's Green Bay. I get you. No, you're fine here. Our guy Luke here also in the comments saying his sources. As you saw me sourcing earlier, Luke's got his own sources. We're all very source beat reporters here on this serious podcast. As Caleb listens far away. That Jackson Dart will be going to the Colts. Sure.
Okay.
There you go. AR, Jackson Dart, and didn't Joe Flacco resign there again? I think even if he didn't, what a quarterback room that would be.
Yeah, I have the Colts grabbing Colston Loveland because he is used to subpar quarterback play, and it seems like he thrives in it. So
he was the one shining spot in that Michigan offense, man. So McMillan, he is sometimes you can try to find ways to describe guys in a million words. Sometimes you keep it real simple. The guy can ball. The
guy is a baller.
He was again the number one option on the Arizona team by a mile. And Jedd Fisch runs a pretty. He used to run. That's not Jedd Fisch anymore. He's at Washington now, right? Yeah. God, I can't keep up with all these moving college people here. But they'll run an offense that they're throwing the ball. And so obviously he has stats. It's not like it's, oh my God, he has stats. It's like if he wasn't getting the ball, it was probably not good. And a lot of the guys in our chat here, like Nolan, is really, really high on this pick of McMillan. And it's funny, he's got the whole family, the whole crew here doing the ABC interview with Laura Rutledge, and he's the tallest dude, which you don't even say about wide receivers, right? As you mentioned, 6'5", but he is just a player. I don't know who technically wide receiver 2 is, but wide receiver 1 was definitely him by a mile. The pick is in for New Orleans, so we'll be waiting on this. Jay Smith has a question for you, Trev. Who do the Giants take next?
Oh, let me go to my notes here. Oh, so I had them trading up and taking Minnesota's pick.
Ooh.
And I had them probably going. I saw something. I don't know if I like it. It could be very Giants-esque. They go and grab Jalen Milroe after Jackson Dart and Shador and Cam are already off the board. So getting Abdul Carter is awesome. That's amazing. Could we see Jalen Milroe, be the 4th quarterback taken in the first round after they trade up and take the Vikings pick? That was my little hypothesis I was throwing out into the universe.
I love that. I love that. But I'm also very high on Jalen Milroe because one, dual threat quarterbacks have been fantastic. As we just got the pick here for New Orleans, Kelvin Banks Jr., Luke calling it.
Yeah.
Good pull
Kelvin
there.
Banks Jr., yep.
That is
nice.
It doesn't feel like a big pull, like a big insane thing here. Probably one, depends who you look at. Was in this really good offensive line class overall.
Yep.
That Texas offensive line was really solid. I think Quinn Ewers kind of sold them a little bit throughout the year, and also the fact they were like 8 running backs throughout the season. So it looked, didn't look great. But a solid pick. You got, again, one thing that's been so fun is to watch where a lot of these NFL GMs have these guys on their boards. Because one guy who's been falling, we've talked about him a lot, right? Jalen Walker. There's a chance here for the Bears if they want to snag up defensively. He's there, but do the Bears really need him? They could use a edge rusher, a guy like him, right? But where do they have him on his board? A lot of people don't have him on their boards as high as we thought, because he has been falling, at least depending on where you look at him, right?
Bears pick is in. I cannot believe Caleb is not here for the Bears pick.
Oh, he's going to be in the comments, which we got to catch up on some here.
Gosh.
Isaac Romans, hi. I miss you. It's good seeing you. He said I was going to be the Saints pick. Yeah, God, if they pick me, that's really bad ownership. And Jay Smith does want Jackson Dart, so we'll see if he slides.
I think Jackson Dart is going to go to the Steelers.
I thought Shedeur might go to the Steelers.
Yeah, that could be a possibility too. To be fair, I had the Saints picking Shedeur, so I don't know anything.
No, that's part of the fun here. Some of the guesses, Loveland is kind of the best, is the move here from Luke.
Okay.
So I could see that. Is this a Tyler Warren? If you go tight end, right? So you could pair him here with a guy like Cole Kmet, who's been kind of a shaky one. Granted, he didn't get enough touches, at least in my, again, deep ball bag here, which is very, very, very small. That's a guy who can move, go here. A lot of options for the Bears. There was a lot of speculation they could move up for a guy like Genty because running back is a need. They're not doing that, as obviously we've seen.
Right.
But it is kind of fun to have the Bears not be the first overall pick. To ask Isaac, Isaac's still in the chat here. Love hearing from you, Isaac. I really do. Does Keenan Allen leave Chicago? Probably, unless he takes a pay cut. Doesn't really make, he was fine. At times he's real good, at times he's real bad, but he's going to be a guy who wants some bag. And if the Bears are trying to be for real, they're not going to want to give it to him because they're not in that kind of weird rebuilding phase, or at least they don't think they are anymore. At least with a lot of the moves they made, right? You address your real big concern in offensive line throughout the year, and they could do it here. I don't think they will anymore with all the offensive tackles and linemen that have gone off the board. And Jay is already losing bets because the bet there was that Shedeur would be didn't think he'd still be sitting. Actually, I lied here. Jay said, I bet Shedeur didn't think he would still be sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shedeur thought he was going to go number 1 overall. Oh, my God, he makes it. Bears pick. He returns.
Yeah, I returned real quick for the Bears pick.
His phone has gone up 1% since we've last seen him.
No, it's actually not. I have that fast charger. It's up 10% actually.
Oh,
I will say a couple things since I've been able to watch the draft. Molly McGrath, beautiful. I love Molly McGrath. She just every time gets me. I love her.
A single man.
The Panthers pick. Oh, she's married with children. I already know. I follow her on Instagram. The Panthers pick. I was not expecting that. I thought that was crazy. Maybe a bit of a reach.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, I mean it's fine. I didn't think that's what they needed. I think they needed defense.
About it.
I think they needed defense more than anything.
Yeah.
Our big takeaway, I don't know how much you're listening, is that means they believe in Bryce Young to go get a guy like Miller.
That's good.
Which we find very fascinating.
I said Bryce Love. You know that quarterback, Bryce Love?
Yeah.
All right, Caleb, what'd you get for dinner here? That's a real question. I see you eating those fries. I know it's an appetizer.
Got wings and fries.
Hey, love that.
Wings may be a little burnt, but whatever.
That's all right.
Spirit's still high.
UP, baby. Or, I guess not. Wings are burnt, beer's hot. Let's go, baby.
Luke Hockfield said, Michael will go to San Francisco.
Interesting.
Luke,
have you been doing these comments?
We can't flash the comments here, my friend.
Oh, you can't.
I've been keeping an eye on them though. Don't worry, we've been addressing our fans.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can too.
Oh, Bears are about to pick. I don't care about anything else but this one.
All right, Caleb's emotional well-being sitting in a bar in northern Michigan with burnt wings.
You act like this isn't your city.
It is, but they constantly disappoint.
Tyler Warren again.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, they're talking about Steve McMichael.
It's a Hall of Famer. There's also a lot of guests. Oh, we're gonna add somebody here.
Jonathan!
Hey, he's back. Oh my lord! Here,
I don't think
You're
he
all
knows he's
singing.
on.
Dude, they're gonna take Shador.
Oh,
The Bears?
the Caleb Williams, Shador Sanders QB room
That shit would be hilarious.
with Tyler Bagent.
Who's this guy? Who's Steve McMichael?
Hall of Famer.
He's dead, man, now.
Yeah, he just died.
That's a rude way to put it, Trev.
Sorry.
Goodell reading it off here as they remember Steve McMichael.
And Walter Payton. 50th anniversary of Walter Payton's selection.
Wow.
No pressure for whoever gets his 10th pick here.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know.
Dude, I had to pay $80 to watch this crap because we don't have Hulu or anything like that.
Oh, that's insane.
You can just stick with us free for live reaction.
I know.
I also love how Ashton Genty is still on the ticker.
Da Bears.
Colson, let's go!
There you go.
Colson Loveland.
It's a good
I
pick.
love it. I love it.
Great pick.
That's the best. That's the best pick of the first round so far. Guy
Big
down
rush
here
for
don't
tight
like
end.
it. This guy's wearing all Michigan stuff down here and does not like the Michigan man getting picked. I don't know what he's talking about.
Hey,
That's a
tell
great pick.
him to quit cussing. It's a kid's show.
Yeah, it's a children's show.
Hey, you know, the Michigan and the Midwestern tight end continues for the Bears.
It's a great pick. Great pick.
He went before the guy from Penn State, too.
Yeah,
didn't
because
he?
he's a
Tyler
better
Warren.
tight end. He's a better tight end. Great pick.
Look at that
All right.
ring he's got. You guys will never know that feeling.
All right.
Oh,
let's
the
calm down.
49ers pick is already in.
All right. I'm gonna keep charging my phone. I just want to
They're
get mine for the Bears pick. I'll be back.
We'll miss you.
I
I
think
thought
it's
you
a
were-
great pick. I love the Bears pick. I love it. I've never been happier in my life. There's a new era that's come over the Bears. I'm glad we didn't draft out. I think I just spit food at my phone. It's great.
Hey, are you
But
in the
I'm
U? Are you in the UP or Jamaica?
Who knows? I had
You
to get
do.
away from you. I had to get away from you.
I almost went over to your house and just walked in.
Yeah, well, that's not a good idea. But no, so I'm going to leave again. I will be back here momentarily. I think Nolan's supposed to be joining soon for the Colts pick, so we'll see. But I love the pick from the Bears. You guys get back to your great analysis, and I'm going to leave again.
He didn't eat
What a
those
route.
wings instead.
Why did he sound so sarcastic?
Oh, here we go. We get Frozen Caleb.
Oh,
for this.
yeah.
That's what we're here for. Frozen Caleb. As he
Screenshot that. Screenshot that.
As he slowly dissipates into the northern Michigan back again.
Right.
San Fran already picked two. We're about to get their selection here momentarily. That's going to be fun. San Fran's in a really weird spot, right? Really,
I read they're
disappointing
going to
last
take
year.
Will Johnson.
Wouldn't shock me if they go that way. They have all this talent, right? But last year's very disappointing. You've moved on from Debo.
Yeah.
So your offense is slowly deteriorating. How much do you trust Brock Purdy? It's a big question. Granted, it's Mike Shanahan and his offense, which has been fantastic. Luke has a very important question. Caleb, over under 8.5 beers drank so far.
There's no way he drinks 8 beers.
No.
Yeah,
He'll be puking.
like maybe by the end of the night, sure, but right now, way under. But
Under. I think
I'm
3
going
White
under.
Claws and he's trash.
Yeah. Or high noons. Either one.
Yeah, high noons. That's what I was thinking of, Jerry, earlier.
you were talking about a parent. How do you go from parent to high noon?
Yeah, I was.
You're like sad mom or something like this, and I'm like happy dad. You're like,
I went to Martin's earlier, and there was a sign that said the University of Michigan, proud sponsor of High Noon. I
Well, that's
almost
Dave
stole it.
Portnoy and all that Barstool stuff. 'Cause they own
I
that.
wanted to steal it so bad.
Yeah, as a cop, I'd love to hear that. Yeah, laws.
Things happens.
I was doing a little bit of
There you
research,
go.
and I believe the San Francisco 49ers are tied with the Baltimore Ravens with the most picks in this draft. They have 11.
That's
So
scary. That is so scary.
yeah.
I
I
hate
think
that.
they'll throw around some picks here. I put down Shamar Stewart.
This wouldn't be a bad Will Johnson pull here.
No.
No, it wouldn't.
He's also kind of snuck around. Obviously Walker's still on the board as well. He has fallen. I don't know what major thing is keeping him away, unless it's like the Eagles are just destined to somehow fall into this guy because he went to
Yes!
Georgia, which
What if
I would throw myself in somewhere in some place if that's the case.
What if they go wide receiver because they lost Debo?
A guy here who would be a high jump but would make sense could be a Luther Burden.
Yeah.
Because he's a very gadgety player. He had some Debo Samuel comparisons, not too many. I don't want to act like he's the next coming of Debo. He didn't win us that many games, right? But same kind of vibes, very gadgety, could do that very fast. So that could be a move here. I don't know if they go that high for him with all the picks they have. That could be another team that kind of moves around the first round or tries to play around a little bit. But going receiver here wouldn't shock me. But I could also see Shanahan being like, I could find the offensive gem in the fourth round because I'm Mike Shanahan.
That's possible.
And waiting on that. So this is part of the fun as we wait for more commercials. This one's for Coolers Light. So earlier we had Miller Lite make an appearance on the Kids Show. ESPN is promoting drinking to minors. We also have Budweiser in the back here as well with Jonathan. So yeah, Kids Show. Hey, King of Beers. You're drinking local for me, so I appreciate that.
I do love a good Budweiser.
So yeah, I can't get
Or
mad
two.
at that thing. Or three.
It's only ever two.
Hey, pork
Only
chop in a
two.
bottle.
Yeah.
Pork chop in a bottle. No, we are having some fun here as we wait for our intrepid leader, Caleb, to finish his wings up in northern Michigan. We have reached past an hour, so thank you for everyone who's been sticking around with us as we wait for San Francisco to make their move. And you want to talk about a fun portion of the draft, right? We've had the high picks, which are fun. Now we get into fun teams. San Francisco, obviously very successful in recent times, have not been able to get to the Super Bowl hump. And who's right after them? Just some small team out of Dallas.
Yeah, boo! Boo!
Yeah. May not be loved by some here, but will
Not
definitely
at
get the most
all.
attention no matter what. With the Cowboys right after, you want to talk about a team that has plenty of intrigue, right? It is Dallas. And as one
They're taking Shador.
oh man,
That would be awesome.
the Dak Prescott, Shador Sanders QB room.
He'll
That'd be so amazing.
I'm finding that any QB room you put Shador Sanders in would just be inherently funny.
I mean,
I've found one.
He's going to get his jersey retired or his number retired regardless. So,
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
I heard his high school already retired his number 2 and his grade school. Kindergarten's still considering it though. We'll see.
His pre-K.
Yeah. Will he be retired in his own household? That's the real question. I feel like that's the real, Dad's jersey's retired and rightfully so, but do you get a spot?
Man. That's
all right. Here comes Roger Goodell to the podium. He's okay. There's another special announcement.
I have my TV on mute so that I cannot hear Roger Goodell.
And you're saving us from copyright, so man with people right here.
His voice just annoys me. I wish I had one of those Barstool shirts with him as the clown. I'd have worn.
Yeah.
I hate the fact we're taking beauty shots of Lambeau. I hate it. It's disgusting. Ew.
I can't believe there's people sitting in there. Like they can't be watching the draft in there unless they're on they don't have a jumbotron, do I mean?
Well, could you imagine watching it in the stadium on your phone outside of all this? Which a good attendance,
Yeah.
I heard
there,
it was like double the town's population.
I feel like that's all football season.
Hey, what's this crayon eating ginger saying?
Couldn't tell you if I tried. Marine crayon eating ginger.
He's got no soul.
Got a mustache though.
It's a nice stash.
I know a ginger with a mustache who has no soul.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Curly headed fuck.
The children's show continues.
Mikael Williams.
A different pick from Georgia. Not even the first edge you would think from Georgia.
Right. Wow.
That's whoa. Now the question I really have is, what do you think of Jalen Walker?
I don't.
He's kind of your faller, and he's maybe not as fun of a guy to see fall because he's not the guy with super duper headlines and all this.
Right.
But
What the hell?
he was a guy with a lot of pre-draft hype. Obviously very good at Georgia, but they went with a different Georgia end, which if you want to talk about, swinging not really to miss, you go for another Georgia defensive end. Oh no.
What is his
Yeah.
necklace?
More
Do you
time?
guys see that? The charm on his necklace is huge.
It's an NIL
Ooh,
money, Jonathan.
Ooh,
Man,
yeah.
I wish they'd have had that when I was in school. Jesus.
Oh, here's Matt. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so Cowboys pick is in.
They moved quick.
Well, they had about a minute left on the clock.
Dude,
It is
my
funny
teeth-
that the first 3 picks are 10 minutes, and they're like, all right, we got to get moving. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
like they literally have like 2 minutes. I don't know. Maybe they called and they were like, hey, they're done. We're just waiting for all these commercials to get. I had McMillan going to Dallas.
Well, this gets real weird here because you do
That's
need some
not
offensive
happening
pieces.
anymore.
Does a guy? I would say if they could use an edge, everyone could use an edge. So it feels like this wouldn't be a bad spot for Jalen Walker to kind of get his type of role. But I feel like at this point, almost in any position, except for very few teams, you could say that he would be a good pick. But they're seeing something. But I am very fascinated in the fall of Jalen Walker because again, you watch here San Francisco go with another edge, but from the same school. Not even like, oh, okay, maybe we saw something of this. Like, no, that's a guy who's training with you. So I'm very curious to see where he falls to. Obviously, I'm very curious to see where Dallas goes. I think the whole nation kind of cares, even if it may not be the. But wow, this is going to get real interesting real quick. From here, next after Dallas is Miami. You want to talk about another team that had a weird year, struggling year. Very curious to see where they go, especially because they're such an offensive-minded team. You started, they're probably going to go defensive as well, but we've seen so many defensive players go off the board here. Your pick for the Dallas Cowboys, Tyler Booker, making his move. Another offensive guard tackle world here. So the big boys are getting paid. If you want to talk about the big takeaway from the first 12 picks,
they should get paid.
The big boys are getting paid. Which no complaints from me, but that seems to be the one. That's what this class had a lot of, right? You didn't have a lot of great quarterbacks, but a lot of them looked really good because of all the guys that had around them. The guy I think of as a Missouri fan is Brady Cook. Probably not going to get drafted as a third-day guy. Membu, a top 10 pick, right?
Yeah.
And on his offensive line, that definitely helped him. I don't know if Jan Miller was first pick, but his offensive guard just gets tackled. So it just gets picked. I'm sorry there. So maybe not the sexiest pick in the world for a team like the Cowboys that, again, coming off of kind of a disappointing year. They still have the guy they think at quarterback in Dak Prescott, right? So you're always going to think you have something there until you move out from him. But you're going to help him. You're not trying to have him get hurt for another season and take everything around. So maybe not the sexiest pick, but one that in a draft class that gives you a lot of the same thing really well, you take advantage of. And I think that's what a lot of people thought this draft was going to be in some degree, where it's going to be big boys, maybe not guys if you're not studying, not like I studied that much, you're going to really love, but you're going to appreciate because they are solid, low risk picks. Now, obviously, 8 of these offensive linemen are going to bust because I just said that out loud.
Well, and that's what if you need an interior offensive lineman, you can never go wrong with an Alabama guard.
Yeah,
this dude, just watching these highlights, he's just manhandling people. When it came to guards, for me it was Booker and the guy from North Dakota State. I kind of expected Booker to get picked after him, but I mean, Alabama, you can never go wrong with that. So
this is still Saban, Alabama, really. This is DeBoer's only 1 year in, so you still have that prestige.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't really do anything against Michigan, though. I wonder if that played into it at all. I'm just saying.
I don't think anyone on Alabama really did anything against Michigan.
They should have showed that highlight. That would have made me very happy.
But now here goes Caleb here. Dallas, what a shocker from our intrepid Caleb.
Yeah, I think Will Johnson's going to go to Miami. I have him going to Miami because if I remember correctly, there's still some weird stuff with Jalen Ramsey. He's on the trade block, right?
Yes, or at least I think he still is. That's
Yeah,
been weird.
Which he's going to the Eagles. Sorry.
You can speak into existence all you want.
Yeah, so I think Will Johnson's going to go here to Miami just because with Jalen Ramsey on the trade block, I think they need to get a good guy at corner. So, but
Jonathan, Caleb is giving it to you right now. I want you to know he's already called you an idiot and is calling you a Raiders fan. So on his podcast, you are on his Facebook right now live. I want you to remember that.
I do like the Raiders.
As you have your moment here of grace, you have a chance.
I have an NFC team and an AFC team.
Are you happy that Mason Graham went to the Raiders?
He went to the Browns.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Never mind. Are you happy that Ashton Petty went to the Raiders?
Not really.
No.
I mean, honestly, I haven't watched the Raiders in a very long time.
Well, they've been pretty bad. So
yeah, blame you.
I mean, I watch the Lions more than I watch the Raiders. But my dad was a Raiders fan, so kind of, grew up that way. Into Caleb can shut the hell up and choke on a chicken wing.
I love it when the host of the show is in the comment section of his own show telling
what is he going to do?
What a loser.
What is he going to do? I know.
What a damn loser.
Second podcast in a week.
Yeah, so
he's not even here.
We got home from the softball game, and I quickly spent $80 on Hulu. And then I started watching, and I was like, where the hell is Caleb at?
He was here for like the first 3 picks. Yeah.
So I rewound it, and I started watching it, and all of a sudden he wasn't there, and I was like, what? He's in a car? What is he doing?
Yeah. This was all his idea, too, because Jerry was pushing the idea that we just do a recap once the first round is over.
Right.
And he was against that.
You want the live reactions to the picks. He's not here to live react.
Yeah. He's basically just watching our reactions to these things.
What a loser. He does not. He sits at home and does nothing all damn day, and can't get his phone charged.
Publicly broadcasting this on Caleb's Facebook.
What?
No, I'm good.
He's so back.
And now you can't even see him.
I'm back. I'm
walking around outside. Don't get lost in the woods, dude.
So that was definitely like a bar rescue situation, I will say. I was waiting for John Taffer to walk in.
Great show. Great show.
It is a great show. It's an all-timer.
I agree.
Those people in there were just nuts. They illegally got an elk head.
How are the accents up there?
Anything's possible with products and services designed to work better together.
Yeah, that's they don't have a lot of teeth.
They sound like Canadians?
No, they just sound like they're not from Michigan. It's like a different place up there.
How bad is the woods and stuff? Like, are the trees all still down all over the place?
It's not too bad where we're at right now. It's dark, so I really can't see. But where we've gone so far, no, we're probably about 20 minutes from our destination. What's going on with the draft?
You don't know?
We're not too sure.
What's going on? Who's where? What happened to Jerry?
Oh. Jerry, I don't know what happened to Jerry. What? So you stopped watching after the Bears pick?
No, I saw the Cowboys pick. That was a shocker.
And so that's where we're at.
Oh, the Dolphins
pick is in. Yeah.
Oh, the pick is in for Miami.
I'm going with Will Johnson here.
I think it's Will Johnson. Some people are saying.
Whoa. Goodell rode in on a bicycle?
Yeah, with the Packers, yep.
What a loser.
I also see that there's a guy named Scott in the comments who's just tearing this place up. Welcome, Scott.
Who's this Scott that we speak of?
I don't know, but this guy was killing up the chats. I love it. This shows growth. This is what we do on this channel.
So we do live shows during the draft that our host leaves for.
Yeah.
This is my second podcast in a week, Caleb. I want some overtime pay, buddy.
Well, When we start making money, I'll make sure to get you your back pay. But
Back pay. Oh, I can't wait for Caleb to draft up a contract. He's got time. He's not doing anything else.
I got
Yeah.
I could easily do that. I know a couple lawyers.
Outsourcing the work for a podcast that
Yeah.
free to the consumer.
Well, yeah. If I already have him on retainer, I'm already paying him. I might as well just get my money's worth.
Valid point.
So,
this guy's name's Field Yates. Could you imagine being named Field?
dude, Field Yates is legit, man. Could you imagine being Field and not talking about sports?
Yeah, that's
man.
true.
Yeah.
Imagine if you named
So-
Field and you would cover hockey.
All right, Roger
That'd be
Goodell
great.
is walking to the podium.
Dude,
What
who
happened
is
to the
trash?
that used to have
What's up?
Yeah,
Then you
good
froze
luck with
again.
that. Yeah.
Lions fan?
That's not when we had him.
What'd you say?
Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan.
Great
All the
pick.
Michigan boys going.
It's a great pick. Dude, Caleb's face is moving and nothing's coming out of it.
He's getting slandered so hard on his own podcast. He had to pop back
Oh,
in just to laugh.
I can't wait to rewatch this and watch all the comments.
Are you guys there?
Yeah,
We're
we're
still
here.
here.
Are you here?
Who's the
Yeah.
Dolphins pick? I'm back. Yeah. Who's the
Okay.
Dolphins pick?
The Dolphins picked Kenneth Grant from the University of Michigan.
Oh,
That's
nice.
three.
Some people in the comments have been spelling that.
That's three in the first round.
Yeah, Luke Hoxie has been spilling it. He's called this like 10 minutes.
Luke is elite, dude.
Yeah, some people are saying, dude, that's his gamer tag, so that's actually great for him. Some are saying Luke Schefter is what they call him. Someone said.
Luke Schefter.
I think we lost Jonathan forever. Oh, here's a guy.
What?
No, maybe he can let us know
No!
why he's got
Gentlemen.
that nickname.
Wait, hold on. I gotta figure out why it ain't connected to my mic. It's not connecting to my headphones. What's going on here? Give me 1 second.
Oh,
You're
what's
all good,
going on?
brother.
There's a lot of background noise there.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it in Rel's room.
Hey, Nug, are you gonna tell everybody the story how you got your name?
I figured I'd put it on there so it'd get talked about at some point.
It's a great story. It's an all-timer.
I mean, we talked.
It is
I
a
mean,
great
the
story.
podcast talked about the shirt photo, so I figured it was only right.
Yeah, what about that photo?
What a loser. Why would you make that your Facebook profile picture?
Wait, is that?
Where'd he go?
This guy has Wi-Fi, and I still have better connection.
No, there we go.
Does that help you talking when you're like sliding in DMs and things?
Not
I
at
feel
all.
like it doesn't. I feel like
It
I feel like a
probably-
female would look at that and just be like, "What a loser! What a f boy!"
It might be a little worse.
No, and if you slid in my DMs, it'd work on me, bud.
It wouldn't me because I'd say tiny dick syndrome.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
gentlemen, I hate to tell you, this is,
Child's
can-
program.
we can all agree this is Tyler Warren here. Unfortunately,
Is it going to be
Jalen Walker would be nice.
Jalen Walker would be nice.
They're going Shador.
Okay.
Jalen Walker, 60 tackles, 60 and a half sacks.
Probably Will Johnson.
Averaging.
Luke Hoxie says he has Goodell texting the picks right before it happens.
Tyler Warren to the Indianapolis
impressive.
Colts.
Is that what happened, Tyler Warren?
Yep.
That sucks that they got the lesser of the tight end.
Oh my God, he's got a grandpa that
Should
looks
have
like
been
he's
Brock
dead
Bowers
in the
last
chair.
year.
He's got a grandpa that looks like he's dead in the chair.
Colts tight end room is stacked. Does Mo Alley Cox still play for them?
You just knew it was going to happen.
So Nug, as a Colts fan, what is your take on the pick?
Well, who they had in there probably top of their draft board if it came down to it. And, I mean, it's a good pick for what they got there, but definitely should have been last year Brock Bowers. We all know what that guy's doing in the league. And
His
they could've-
His greatest accomplishment is the 2015 Little League World Series.
yeah, I mean,
What a guy.
You got to take him where you can take him. You know.
I mean, to be fair, Tyler
But like I
Warren
said-
is a freak.
Trev. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a tight end wearing 44. I mean, you can't go
I
wrong with
mean,
Can't go wrong with that,
yeah,
can
A
you?
lot of
no.
holding calls.
I mean,
A
in
lot
a-
of holding calls.
In a Colts jersey, yeah, you can't go wrong. But
And blue and white too. There you go.
Yeah.
But I don't
He's
know,
a
man.
stud.
Like I said, Brock Bowers. I feel like that they could have made this happen last year, but for
No,
what it is,
can't
you
dwell on
got to
the
take
past.
what you
You have
get.
to look to the future.
But Jalen Walker, man, if I were
Yeah.
to say they need,
Yeah, it's going to be a steal.
they had
It's gonna be a
their
steal.
Shaquille Leonard 4 or 5 years ago, and that's what this guy is going to be. I mean, you can put him anywhere on the field. You said he might be a little average as a little linebacker, but whoever gets that guy, I mean, they hit a home run for where he's at right now in the draft.
AR, a lot of AR-15 love in the chat.
No, oh yeah, these guys are definitely giving AR some slander. They say he should be tight end. Playing tight end next year, so just ignore those.
No, well, they
idiots.
did
That's
show
why the
some
tight
Tyler
end room
Warren
is
highlights
stacked.
throwing the ball. So maybe Tyler Warren goes
That's
to
why the tight end
quarterback.
room is stacked.
AR-15 goes to tight end.
Oh, here's another one. They're giving Sam Ellinger weapons. That's a good one. Fire emojis for the Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, Caleb, what was going on with that guy when you were at the bar? He didn't seem too pleased there.
No, I've never seen a Michigan fan get mad at a Michigan player getting drafted.
We didn't want to cheer against him.
He
He's probably a Lions fan.
well,
Wait,
some people change allegiances like you have in the last couple of years.
Wait, yeah, was that Jonathan at the bar? Was Jonathan up there going crazy?
I wish I was at the bar. That'd be nice.
No, but it was no. This guy was pretty mad. He'd been there a while. A lot of Budweisers. It may have been Jonathan. May or may not have been.
Nothing wrong with that. What a guy.
Freaking local.
No, the guy was a little mad. You know, I like I said, that place.
He had no bears.
You grow
on, though.
up real fast. Okay. When you walk into places like that, the stuff you see, the people you meet. A guy had to walk out of the bar. He stumbled out of the bar. Actually, was carried out.
Was that me?
What'd you say?
So was that me? That could have been me.
No, some other guy. He's much older than me.
Oh, okay.
How are your wings? 10 out of 10.
They weren't bad. They were an 8. I refused to eat the ranch. I refused to eat the ranch at that place. They were a little dry, but I think that will save me in the long run.
You said the ranch was dry?
No. I said I refused to eat the ranch, so the wings were a little dry.
Oh, I'm tracking. I got you.
There's a
But
4G LTE over there. Cracking up in between.
They were very big wings. They were very crispy. They were good. They were all right. Fries can ruin a meal. You know, those fries were cut out of a frozen bag and not even fried enough. You know,
Subpar.
Yeah,
Caleb.
that sounds great.
Caleb, where's the best place to get wings, in your opinion?
best place to get wings. I don't know. I mean,
There's only one answer.
there used to be a place in Cass called Full Bowl that had some pretty fire wings.
Yeah.
That's no longer alive.
What was it? On Tuesdays, it was like a quarter for a wing?
There's
or
a quarter
something
for
like
a
that?
wing. Yeah, quarter for
Yeah.
a wing.
You ain't finding that in this economy anymore.
Hey, we don't talk about
Let's
politics.
That's fine.
No
I'm just
politics.
saying, though.
I
Oh,
see you, Jerry.
Blue cheese? Luke Hoxie, you are a
Okay.
criminal.
That's
Someone-
disgusting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
diabolical.
God.
I think that guy's from Buffalo, actually.
Look.
2 thumbs way down on
You
that.
got 5 people to agree on something. That's not good.
Isn't blue cheese just like mold?
Yeah, pretty much. Isn't that what all
Well,
cheese
isn't
is?
all cheese? Yeah, I think all
Mold?
cheese is like
Yeah,
mold.
but-
It's moldy milk, right?
But blue cheese has got to be like extra moldy because then how
Yeah.
it gets the blue.
I would
Oh,
think.
God. That's
That's-
terrible.
What's going on with the draft? This is the purpose of this show.
We're at a
Yeah, well,
commercial.
yeah, I
There's
mean-
2 minutes left in the Falcons on the clock.
There's a kid in a
Let's see
kid in a
Jerry's
blue
hot
bucket
take.
hat talking
Who's
to
gonna
a
be?
parrot.
I have no clue where the Falcons go as they wait because I don't think they know where they're going.
Jalen Walker. They're going to go Jalen Walker with the
Jalen
Edge.
Walker would make
Yeah.
the most sense here.
They're
At some point,
going-
he's got to go.
They're going Shador.
That would be the most Atlanta thing ever.
What's this
They're
guy
going
showing
today.
off over here?
No,
The-
my
Oh, he's got a cheat sheet. He's
my
got-
my
Nice.
draft my draft board here fell a little short after the Colts pick because I knew it was Tyler Warren. So, but if you guys got any news for me on 15, let's fill it in.
I have no clue. I could not tell you. That's what I get paid $0.00 to know. Is where a team like Atlanta goes. They're going all the way down. They have only a minute left. Now this could just be them being annoying.
It's either a trade or
it's either a trade or they just want to annoy everybody, and they have a deal with ESPN Disney to make sure more commercials run.
Yeah, no crap.
Yeah, good job. Child's broken.
That one guy, you don't think Jackson Dart could fit in this quarterback room?
Yeah.
Jackson Dart would be. He could. I mean, yeah. give him Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix.
I mean, this is what the Falcons like to do.
Yeah, they would. I can't wait. It's Brady Cook, first round pick, sneaking all the way up to join that quarterback.
Yeah, we got about 40 seconds left on the clock.
What's up with Menbu, Jerry? What's your analysis there? I know you got those inside sources. Is he excited to go to New York, or is he a small town boy?
He's solid. He stayed from Mizzou his whole time. I think he was from the state, if I remember correctly. He's solid. He's really good on an offensive line that was really mid. So again, Brady Cook could get drafted, and he's a mid, and he's a UFL guy, as much as St. Louis and all this. But he'd be a great.
We're looking at notable quarterback slides. Mel Kiper's rank of them and where they got drafted. The Shador slide is beginning.
Where did he have Shador going?
He's the number one prospect on his board right now. He has been.
I was gonna say he had him high.
The seventh pick.
Mike Tomlin's going to take care of that, Trevor.
Oh, that's great.
Luke Coxey's trying to give us a little hit here. Falcons.
He thinks it's going to be Walker.
Oh, Jalen Walker, yeah.
Jalen Walker.
I can see
Luke
the vision there. He's got to go at some point.
Luke says Jalen Walker.
It's going to be crazy when Luke Coxey joins us. He's going to lose his intel for his drafting.
There, we all
it's
anxiously
a cold
wait.
Night here in Green Bay, as people stand around a fire.
I will tell you, the farther north you get, boys, the temperature does change quite a bit.
What do we got? What are we looking at?
I'm glad that Cassopolis education's paying off here.
Right.
It's about 47 degrees. Hey, Jerry, it's springtime, so people like to see it get warm. I know in St. Louis, when you're in the moderate temperature that you're in all year long, 65 and gunshots.
Caleb, are you trying to mansplain to me temperature changes?
No, I'm just trying to.
While you lag?
St. Louis. Yeah, because I don't know that I'm lagging. That's the problem.
Yeah, which this makes it all the better. Where it's like St. Louis, it's shotgun, the 47 degrees.
It's super annoying.
Is it?
It's super. It's not that bad.
Yeah, for the people that are usually viewers, this is draft night, Caleb. You need to have your schedule lined up better.
Yeah. All right, the
Jerry,
pick is in.
Jerry,
Goodell
and
is at the
Trevor,
podium.
Jerry and Trevor are saving the show.
I'm glad that they're
taking care of it tonight.
Our intrepid leader,
because of the good men they are.
I'm the workhorse.
Oh, you guys.
Jalen Walker.
Walker.
God damn it! It should have been
another one for Luke Coxey.
Luke Coxey, dude, this guy is calling shots 5 minutes in.
He's hot. Pass him the ball.
Oh, I can put a user in timeout from comments. Didn't know
we don't need to do that.
Your ass needs to be in timeout.
I say we don't have enough people on this show watching to put people in timeout. Come on. We're trying to grow viewership.
Still feel great to do it. So, Nolan, as we wait in between these picks here, you got to tell everybody your story of how you got the nickname.
Oh, yes. I guess we could refer back to that. Freshman year, I'm sitting there with my best friend in class, back of the math class, sitting there with my football coach, and I told him, hey, man, I got to use the bathroom, dog. He's like, all right, yeah, whatever. I go tell my coach. He's like, hey, yeah, you ain't being a fool. You're not getting out of class. And I usually did that, being a fool, freshman. So I got stuck in class, and I told my buddy, well, hey, man, I gotta go. You think it's just a part? And let's just say that transpired, and I never forget Nike sweatpants and boxers. And I stood up, and let's just say a nug raptor came out, and got out on the football field, and the offensive coordinator said, I can see it already. Nuggetron streaking down the sideline. It's stuck for the rest of my life, and sometimes you got to live with some things. Everybody calls me Nug. It is what it is.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
What an
I love
all-time
that
story.
story.
I mean, it's even the PlayStation name. You can ask Caleb to confirm that.
It's quite literally the greatest story I've ever heard in my life. To be honest.
Yeah, it's really good.
So he went from shitting himself to having a
Nuggetron.
fuckboy picture as his Facebook profile picture.
Yet again, child's program, but yes, very much.
What a life.
Yeah, he lures people into his nugget dome that he's got going.
Don't make it sound like
Nugget-
Diddy over there, bro.
the
Relax.
Nugget
Jerry,
Nugget
you weren't
Nest.
there. No, Jerry, you were not there last episode. You should have seen his picture that he's got. It looks like he lures people into this room.
No, he can. Jerry can't see the comments. I've been commenting. He should be able to see it. I didn't change
Oh,
it.
here's a comment.
It's the
Here we
same
go.
one it's always been.
Oh my lord. No, that screams like bad fitness influencer.
What?
Yeah,
Puts
that
the
was
lotion on the
fine.
skin or else it gets the hose again.
Here's
That's
how
what I
you use
get
this
from it.
machine. It has like 5 views. Like, it's all of us actually. We're the only
Yeah,
ones
some
who
would
did it.
some would
Yeah.
say that's what we do on this program for views.
Jonathan, please watch the Hey, Caleb, pull up Luke's most recent comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell him,
Luke,
Luke. Who is
Luke
this guy?
Hoxie. Luke Hoxie.
He gonna learn today.
A fellow
Anybody
Detroit,
can guess
Michigan
Luke
man,
Hoxie's
having to
kid.
give it.
Yeah. If you could guess his child's name, I'll give somebody $5.
Now we're doing
What's-
name guessing.
What's it start with?
Yeah. S.
Yes.
Clearly it's
Salamander.
Stewart.
No.
Shut
You're
up!
wrong.
Initials SS.
No.
Sharpay.
No. You're all wrong.
Shampoo.
Dude,
It's
all
more
this
like
to, talk,
Skywalker,
to
'cause
not
he
talk
looks
about the
like
Arizona
Skywalker.
Cardinals. That is what we have done.
Sam?
The Cardinals had a
Skywalker.
pick in.
It's
His
Skywalker?
first name is Skywalker?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
He's a big Star
That's
Wars.
amazing.
It's a big.
I like
He's a big
that.
Star Wars fan.
He couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he is Luke. I was gonna say he couldn't. He should have been Anakin.
What's his middle name then?
I think Boba Fett.
No, it's
Nice.
not.
Jar Jar?
Yeah, it is.
I think you're doxing this guy's kid right now on the program.
What's his social security number?
I think it ends in 3268.
I know why
Luke
you're going to
Hoxie will be.
running for
Luke
the Feds.
Hoxie should be.
R2D2.
Joining us sometime.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Actually, Luke Hoxie was actually he was actually in this. He was actually in the queue to get in the show before me and Trevor both were actually.
Nice.
UT off the
Oh,
board.
the Cardinals. Who are they going? Oh, the Cardinals are on the pick. Yeah, that's right, Jerry. We're forgetting about this Arizona. I almost called them St. Louis Cardinals. That's not a thing in the NFL.
It is a thing, just not a football team.
That's why I said not the NFL.
No, no, instead we were guessing baby names instead of talking about the draft.
Are they going with Walter Nolan? Would I have to guess? They've gone.
I hope
with
not.
Pass.
They're going Will Johnson.
They're going Mike
That's not-
Green.
Oh, that's a good pick. I love that pick.
Mike Green, that is a great pick.
That's a
That
solid
Trevor,
pick.
that just threw that
You
out
guys
there.
passed the house or what?
Yep.
That is a great pick, Trevor. Wherever he ends up, getting a stud.
You passed the house.
Of course.
You guys know somebody that's going to fall out of the first round. That's insane. It's James Pierce. I mean, how many mock drafts last
Tennessee's
year
got?
would have
No,
had
the
that
Eagles-
guy in
Eagles
the
are gonna
top
pick him up.
5
Yeah.
before the season?
God.
All right. He's doing it.
You guys also
Nolan
remember?
is your
Walter Nolan, Ole Miss.
Was it really Walter Nolan?
pick. It is.
Yep.
Wow, I called it. Call me Schefter. Yeah, this is it.
How is Luke doing this? Is it because he has the Force?
I think it's because
Trevor,
he does.
He does it every draft. He
Are you
knows
serious?
every draft.
Yeah.
He knew
No,
the
he-
Lions pick when it was. He knew he was doing it 2 minutes before. He just knows. We just lost Caleb.
It's fine. It happens like multiple
All right.
times only.
Are
Great.
people telling him, or is he just pulling this from his brain?
And this seems just like bag work right now. It's just you
No,
put it
he's
on.
pulling it from his brain, dude. We made him put his phone away.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going to Cincinnati?
He
We're
should
on to
gamble.
Cincinnati. I want to talk about a team that can use Will Johnson.
Well, I had Mike Green going. Maybe Mike Green goes to Cincinnati or Derek Harmon.
I guess I'm a little bit back on the news with
I'm
their
back.
star DN. What's been the talk with Trey Henderson?
Back.
Is that
What did
signed
he
up
say,
and
my
dealed?
Luke Coxey. What did you guys say about Luke Coxey and your sources?
We
That's
said he was
BS. I
keeping the bag.
legitimately have sources. I wasn't lying.
That's impressive.
Yeah, anybody can get on Twitter when they're not on their phone doing this show.
Right.
Says the unemployed man himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm employed. I'm just self-employed. Big difference. Taxes are a little different, Jerry.
I was say your taxes are terrible then. Oh man. Oy, oy, oy.
We made it
Is
to
this
our
a write-off
destination.
at
We
least?
just don't know how to get in the house. This show, my whole life's a write-off, actually.
I agree.
Oh, here's some light. Here we go. Now you guys can see my face.
Oh my lord. Heading in northern Michigan is our trip with
Nolan,
Caleb.
I don't think there's any update on Trey Hendrickson.
So who's on the clock?
It's
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Oh,
The
the
Bengals.
Bengals. Mike Green. Mike Green's their pick. Calling
That's what I was thinking. Mike Green or Derek Harmon from Oregon.
it. Mike Green isn't it the guy that yells "bang"? No,
Who, Rel?
wrong guy.
Yeah, I think
Close.
so.
Yeah, Rel says Will Johnson, gentlemen.
Will
I mean,
Johnson.
That is what
Will
Jerry was
Johnson.
saying too.
Yeah, that's what the streets are saying.
I like it.
So
They do
What's
have a history of
happening?
getting Michigan defenders. They've
really,
had quite a
that's
few.
great. I mean, he's kind of slipped too. Just not really that much. It's a great pick right there.
It would not be bad at all. They could use the help at cornerback. It would not be a bad move to get a guy who slipped that way. They need help on defense, and they're
Mike
paying their
Green.
offensive guys fine.
I wonder if he's healthy though. He seems like he was hurt all year this year.
Who? Will
Yeah, but
Johnson?
he could-
Yeah.
No, he'd be fine. He no longer plays for Michigan, so he's fine.
You just cheered for a Michigan player getting drafted to the Bears, so shut up.
Yeah, because I said he's good. I mean, I'm not going to hate on my team getting good picks if they're a good player. I can hate on that school that they went to, but if he's a good player. I mean, if they want a real corner, they'll go.
You're
Ben
a
Morris.
closet Michigan fan. You know that?
Oh, God.
Wow.
we are getting into the 2-hour span here. Now we're just accusing
Yeah.
fandoms. Oh,
Yeah.
He begged and begged for Jim Harbaugh, and now he's cheering for Colston.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I like them when they leave that school. That everybody
It's-
knows. I hate them while they're there, and I like them when they leave.
You're a closet Michigan fan.
A closet?
Who just went?
What?
Closet.
You Raiders guy? Now the Lions get good, and you join on the bandwagon of the city.
No. That's false.
It's the truth.
Completely false.
You're
No.
a White Sox fan for baseball. You know
I
nothing
am.
about the city
Hey,
of Detroit.
Dude, I hung my White Sox flag up yesterday, and I hung it up upside down.
Uh-oh.
let's go, baby. Sox all the way. Sox the World Series.
Until Jerry sells the team, that's going to be upside down.
Well, I didn't know Jerry owned the team. Jerry, you own the team?
Yeah, me, Jerry and Jerry is how we actually do it, not Johnson and Johnson.
Well, you need to slap the crap out of Jerry, the other Jerry.
Yeah, but then I can't keep control of the Bulls too, so I had to, kind of keep my cards going. Can't ruin that generational wealth that quickly.
I get that.
It's that I could just make the White Sox terrible. That's kind of how I rock, actually.
The Bengals pick is in.
Dude, I'm still on commercial for Blackburn and Romney's trusted injury lawyers.
Yeah, I'm on commercial too. This is Final Destination.
I've got the ABC primetime
they have-
lineup.
Especially
That's my guy
one.
Jimmy Kimmel.
I don't have anything on the TV actually. That'd be
Well,
nice.
we
to
see,
get
because
to.
you're walking outside like a loser.
Like a loser. Some people, treat themselves and get away and do these nice little trips every
You've
once in
been
a
getting
while.
away for the last 6 months in the basement.
Okay, says the guy that's sitting in his garage thinking he's cool. You got that hot tub all cleaned out up there, or what?
No. I think
Man,
I think I'm throwing this one away and getting a new one.
Oh,
Baller.
not warm enough for you, or what?
No. I don't think I didn't care for it properly.
too hot for the hot tub. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, Cincinnati's going to pick at some point, but don't worry. We'll get all of our ABC commercials in. We got to make sure you know where to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little worried about doing this podcast after the first round because I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning.
I got to get up at
Yeah,
5:30.
no,
I don't want to hear you
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah, Jerry's like,
yeah.
oh, let's do it after so we can do all these react. It's like Jerry.
Gary, that's such a great Dale, that's such a great point. You
Some
just lagged
people have
yourself through it.
lives.
Yeah, now that you're at the house, can't you get like on Wi-Fi instead of AT&T?
Well, so I was on Wi-Fi, and when I got on the Wi-Fi, it said it wasn't private. It kicked me off. That's why I got booted. So I'm gonna try and set up my laptop and get on the Ethernet connection here.
Our
So I'm
intrepid
trying to get
leader,
the draft
he
on.
got a whole dinner in the middle of his own podcast.
Yeah,
Yep.
terrible.
Well, me
Some
and
people are
Jerry's
ballers,
Playboy.
Jared.
While you guys save
No,
the
you guys-
show.
You guys do
Yep.
great. You know.
You know, look for a trade from the Seahawks. Okay.
Hey man,
Wait, what?
You let the guy
Freaking me
shoot.
out. He's freaking me
This
out.
guy Luke Oxy. He's gonna get banned here in a second if he keeps rolling.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do,
Or
Caleb.
insider?
All
Yeah,
right.
no, we got to keep her inside.
Goodell is at the podium.
Oh, I love it. They just did a bum shot of all the Packers fans drinking. Love that. What else do you do in Green Bay? I mean,
Sounds like my kind
Mark
of place.
Stewart, Texas A&M.
Luke right again. Called it a little gig 'em right beforehand. And it's always horns down in this household. So that's fine by
Wow.
me to rep a little gig 'em. Man,
Wow.
Another
Short
edge.
run.
that's another edge going pretty high.
Yep. Yeah, like we said, Jerry, that's a high value position now.
And let's see here. The next move from Seattle, according to our insider, is a trade here from Seattle, which you want to talk about a team that's had a weird
No-
offseason. Seattle.
No
But
one
that's what I'm
says
saying. If you're looking, and if that's what the thing that's driving me crazy about the Tyler Warren pick is because this is the Colts need an edge. I mean, it could have been Mike Green. It could have been any of these names that have been said. And I mean, if you're looking for an edge rusher this year, this is you hit the lottery. I mean, you got so many selections, and I mean, like you said, we know some of these guys won't pan out, but there's a lot of guys up at the top first round that maybe a few of these guys, like I said, go into the day two, but you got to feel real happy with some of these names that are on the board if you're looking for an edge rusher.
Yep.
No, a lot of great options. A lot
Caleb,
of
can
great
you
options.
pull up Luke's most recent comment? No one stays hating because his team took a bum.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah. That's
Well, I mean,
tough,
if he
huh?
was so great, he would have beat Notre Dame, and
Dang.
the guy didn't do it. You know, so
Wow. Shots fired.
Dude, this guy's
That seems like a
his suit
very
is silk.
touchy subject.
Oh wow, Goodell and him are really.
well, it's because Jim Irsay's putting the picks in, guys, and they found him in his apartment 6 months ago, purple and blue. Like it's really time to, we just got to really sometimes look at some things, and there needs to be some evaluations through that. So
I really don't want to hear it. We put up with the Reinsdorfs. I don't care about Ursay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd keep that one quick here. Man.
True.
But yeah, let's see. Seattle still about 3 minutes left, but they have not made their pick, obviously. So, again, if our man Luke here is staying hot, right? This means the trade could be on the wire because they haven't had their pick in.
If he gets this one right, I'm getting off here and watching and logging into DraftKings, and I'm just going to fade everything.
Yeah. No, what do you have to say about this?
And I can do that because I got a job, unlike some people.
yeah, there's a good chance.
Hey, Indianapolis has some really nice hotels. You could literally have a hotel right next to the stadium and just walk, in the underground tunnel. So, come on,
Oh,
man. Think smarter, not harder. Granted, this is a kid show and we're talking about doing blow, but it's okay. Our intrepid leader who is in the dark is the one who put that one up there.
It's okay. Skywalker can't read yet, so.
And now is he frozen now too?
I hope so.
Yeah, can somebody get a screen? Jerry, can you get a screenshot? That's going to be a live photo. We need to have that pulled up again.
I'm back.
Is he Shannon Sharping somebody right now?
Picture. Oh god.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's another good one. I'll get it.
Oh my God.
We're not talking about. I'm back. For some reason, the Wi-Fi didn't connect.
No, you're not.
No, it did.
Our
Pick
insiders
is
are
in
wrong
for
once.
Seattle.
Your
Okay, it was a
video.
heat check.
The eyes emojis going here. The pick is supposedly in, but will we have a trade? That's the question here. This is Luke has been on a borderline
Is that
generational run.
Thanos? This guy's necklace is amazing.
Oh, you've got some great necklaces so far. We've talked about it, right? The guy earlier had a great one.
NIL, baby.
Dude, this one is Thanos.
Oh, that's awesome. The Seahawks office is clapping.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's in. I think they took somebody.
The pick is in, according to my lovely ESPN app, which will go faster than the ESPN draft that I'm currently watching, because that's how that should work. Luke's already pulling back on his sourcing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Tough.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Wow, tough scenes here. Sourcing
That's the last.
finally goes
That's the
down.
last time that we see a comment from Luke Oxley tonight.
Breaking news: the Pistons just lost.
Ooh.
Oh, what was the final of that?
I care
It
why.
didn't say.
Bad.
All right, Roger Goodell
I
is
don't know.
walking
It didn't
to
say
the
what the score
podium.
was.
Rel scored the Pistons game.
It said Cat scored 31.
Wow, just ate him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about that dirty play from Brunson. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I know
I
what
heard
Seattle
about it.
picked. I like
Crazy
Seattle's
Eagle, North
pick.
Dakota State.
That's a good pick.
I thought he was
Solid.
going to go where Booker went. But
Luke Oxley wants to go back to the shadow.
room.
I mean, Caleb was in the shower room for half this show with his
Yeah.
camera.
All right, Tampa Bay is on the clock. What do we got that one?
I'm talking about a team that can also use Will Johnson here. I know I keep throwing his name out like you think I like the University of Michigan this much, but
Ain't nothing
another
wrong
team
with
that
that.
needs some help at corner, and he's still sitting there. I wouldn't be insanely surprised if that went there. Pierce Jr. also, we could start seeing his name, I think, pop around a little bit, right? And we were talking about earlier that he's a guy who could drop out of the first round with how everything's going. But again, there's so much talent here in this draft that these are guys that you watch the tape today with the ESPN highlights, right? But like, if they're doing their job really well, you will not hear about them. And I think that's what makes this draft so interesting. A lot of these, right? Yeah, you'll hear the edge guys, but we're talking about offensive guards, offensive tackles. If their quarterback's not getting sacked, it was a great pick.
This guy's the greatest offensive lineman of all time.
Yeah, hey, he's a bison, man. The bison are
He,
different.
he rented 250 acres to grow corn.
Yeah, that's
I'm glad that I learned that tonight.
Yeah.
Static.
Better than learn about his family's trip ups or whatever, which ESPN loves doing.
So
I
how
have,
did what happened with Travis Hunter and maybe seeing his dad? Was his dad there?
I didn't intently watch over the Travis Hunter's dad. Sorry, I was making sure the podcast ran. You can see it while you're in your wings.
I was
Yeah.
there when that happened. I was.
Can you pick your phone or computer up? Like,
What? I'm trying to get my laptop figured out.
you look like this guy.
So,
I
Get
look
your
like a what?
Get
did
your
we say
shit
for-
together.
What did we say for Tampa Bay? What do we like here?
I'm going to keep throwing his name out until he gets picked. Will Johnson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too.
That's not a bad option here, unless
I like
They're gonna go.
I don't know what
edge.
they're not seeing. That always scares me.
I'm telling you, I wonder if it's because he was hurt all year.
Yeah,
I have-
maybe like what Jonathan said, but that
There's
didn't
not
fall
been
out
a,
of the
there's
top
not been a
20.
corner at all drafted, right?
Besides Travis
No.
Hunter, yeah.
Hunter. Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah,
It's,
Does he count as one though?
he's Shohei
This is a
Ohtani.
CB
That's what everybody
/
says.
WR.
all
Yeah.
I know is he's going to the AFC South, gentlemen. I'm sure AR-15 is going to find some balls to that guy. As much as it hurts my soul.
You said AR-15 will take some shots.
Oh yeah,
No,
He's gonna test him here.
Alabama linebacker.
Alabama linebacker. God.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Freak athlete.
That does feel like a Tampa Bay pick.
I'm calling it. Call me
Michael
Luke
J.
Oxley.
Fox is incredibly still in this Goodyear commercial.
Yeah, it's got to be CGI.
It's crazy how good that stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Caleb might start using it if his Wi-Fi doesn't start working. He's going to start using AI Caleb.
We should have just made an anime one. I mean, he ain't saying shit either, anyways.
All right. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. My
We
laptop
got you,
is not
forehead.
working.
Oh man, but nope, pick is in for Tampa Bay. We're gonna see where they move here. We are finally getting into the lower half of the draft. This is pick 19, right? We only got so many more. Getting close to the 2 hour mark with the whole gang on. If we add in 2 more people, our whole show in all the comment section will be gone. So
We can't add any more people. Yeah, we'll lose our viewers, Jerry. Calm down.
that's what I just said, Caleb. But you're too
I
busy
know.
working on your laptop that you didn't hear me.
Well,
Get
For
it
some-
together.
for some reason, this Wi-Fi that I'm trying to get on is not. It's saying that the website we use is not. It's not good.
Well, see, here's the thing. When you look up some of the stuff that you look up on your laptop,
Starts running a little slower, Jonathan.
yeah. Just saying.
How many ad blockers do you have on that computer?
You guys are psychopaths.
You guys probably don't remember this, but back when we had to use LimeWire to illegally download music,
Yeah,
you would
nobody's
download
50
you
years old.
download a video that took all day, and then it would never work because it would just be a bunch of pop-up blockers or ad blockers, or just destroy your dad's computer, maybe.
How many computers did you destroy at one time?
I destroyed one, that's for sure.
What song was it? That's the real question.
I plead the fifth.
Scott.
What'd it say?
Uh-oh. Luke's just giving us colors now. He's going red
He's
and
going
white.
to Alabama,
He's
man.
going Bama. I'd say Oklahoma, but they've been so mid they're not going to have anyone in the first round.
I didn't think the brakes were right.
Jonathan's just super, super old, so that's just why he talks the way that he does.
I missed what he said.
Basically, that you're
Jonathan
old.
is on that kind of timing.
They called me old.
Jonathan is on that kind of timing. Is what he said.
I'm seasoned.
Oh, and Scott said Jonathan Deff knows from experience.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I don't lie.
Yo, Scott, where's Scott from? Have we figured this one out yet?
Scott's one of my boys, Caleb.
Oh, he is. Shout out. So is he from TR or KZoo?
He's from Three Rivers. He lives up at Adrian now. He's a teacher, PE teacher. He teaches football too.
That's what we do. We are a teacher-friendly program here.
That's
Kid program.
That's right.
Very good man. Very educated.
Controversial
man.
stance here. Pro teacher.
Pro teacher, baby. Woo!
It depends on the teacher.
Yeah, same. What kind of education are these children getting is what I question. You know?
Yeah. I can't wait for Trevor to have to deal with Jaden every day. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go in for conferences, and I'm not going to give a shit about anything he does.
Who's Jaden?
His son, you dummy.
Jesus, how many high noons have you had?
I haven't drank
Probably
any.
two.
I haven't drank any onions. I've been. I'm more irritated that there's a TV here and I can't fucking use it, and that's irritating.
Hey, Caleb, this is a family show.
No, I get it, but when you get irritated enough, Jerry, sometimes it's let out.
Broncos taking full.
Ohio State. I'm making out like
This
Buka.
time got phone. I can't.
Wow, Emeka Buka. That's a pick from Tampa.
Yeah, it is.
And they have decent wide receivers already. So
Yeah, they
that's,
do.
you're sitting Mike Evans. I don't know if Godwin resigned. I don't remember off the top of my head. McMillan obviously came off that really good year last year, stepping in for Chris Godwin when he got hurt. Baker Mayfield's going to have some fun. He's going to throw the most egregious pick every week, but in return, he'll throw a crazy touchdown. But Luke, with the signal that we didn't even see correctly, dropping the instead crimson and white there for the Ohio State University, favored by no one on this program.
Except for Luke Hoxie's.
They got denied their trademark for the word "the."
Luke Hoxie's a big fan of Ohio State. If you guys didn't know.
All I know is that Ohio State struggles beating schools with block M's. MIZ, baby. So that's all that matters to me. A team that you would think this time last year would not be picking 20th. The Denver Broncos are now on the clock after Bo Nix decides to be a good quarterback after everyone was like, no way Bo Nix is a good quarterback, right? Like, he can't do that. No way. He's been in college way too long, right? He's been in college longer than Caleb, right?
Yeah.
How's he going to do that, right?
Caleb,
but-
pull up Luke's comment.
But, ooh, ooh,
That's tough.
ooh, ooh, man.
What a
Again,
silence.
Block M's kryptonite.
The thought about being nice to Caleb went through my mind for a split second, and I immediately said F that. I feel bad for the kid.
Hey, that man's in Roku City right now. As you look at past his forehead there at the TV, you know, he's having a grand old time.
Just staring at the ceiling.
Hey, no, we get the
Caleb
kid.
is going to be finishing this when the first round is over.
Yeah.
To which I could have said we could have just done a reaction at the end because it's like, look at this.
Just in time for him to get on his dirty websites.
But, you know, Denver sitting here about 3 minutes left. They were a team that could have taken a swing, I think, on the offensive end, right? Kind of just like Tampa Bay did with Ibuka. I'm very curious to see where they go.
Marion Hampton.
That wouldn't be a bad. I could see that. I really could see that. Marion Hampton would be bad. My new question is how far will Will Johnson fall? I don't think he really fits here in Denver. I don't see that being the pick.
Yeah.
So that's one of those guys we talk about falling players, right? Technically, according to Mel Kiper, Shadur Sanders is falling. So, world is shaking.
If Mr.
He had both of them top 10.
What about Mr. Hallbar guy sitting there at 22? Jerry, you think he's letting Will Johnson going past?
I don't think so.
No, I doubt it.
Giants are looking to get another round one pick. Shadur.
Question mark? Eyes emojis. Again, Luke's sources, which have been pretty fire. He's only missed really one, prediction here with Seattle. We respect our insider dropping in, not even in the podcast, instead dropping it through the comment section. That's real dedication to the beat.
Yeah.
Live tweeting us through this basically with the Broncos sitting about 2 minutes left. But again, I'm really curious to see what they do here because I feel like they're a year ahead of schedule with how well they did last year. I thought this was going to be a team that would kind of be sitting in like that top 15, 12 range, hoping that Bo Nix wasn't a bust because he had, high floor, low ceiling, but he played really well and that team worked really well around him. A little fluky, a lot of close games, right? But again, they're one of the 18 teams that put the Chiefs to one score that ended up in the Super Bowl again and had their moments. So this feels like a pick that where do we want to go? Do you want to keep building slowly and have a really good team over the long period, or do you take a swing on somebody and try to make a little bit deeper of a run? How do you view yourself is what I want to see with Denver. This pick's very telling, right? To be in this little round, do you take a flyer on someone that could really maybe be really good, or you go off, or do you go with someone more consistent? Do you go with a guy like Harmon, right, who I think addresses a need, a solid pick, probably slipping a little bit, but isn't, depending on where you look. So they have about a minute left. And then from there, the intrigue, right, we look at the 21st pick, a team that needs a quarterback is sitting on the board still. And so is a quarterback looking for a home.
Where are we
at?
He's going to do it for sure.
So
who's picking right now?
Right now it's Denver. We've got about 45 seconds left on their pick.
Denver's going running back, right?
I saw some outdrafts with that.
Carolina. I'm Luke Cox seeing it.
That pick is in, and they got it in just about before the buzzer. They had about 40 seconds beforehand. But who would they go with at running back, Caleb, if they go running back?
Probably Omar Henderson or whatever, Hampton or whatever, or Tre'Davion Henderson from us.
I could see that. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a little bit of a reach for those guys. I don't know how high other people have them on their board.
Genty went 6 year. The draft is different.
Hey, man.
No, best available. Shadur Sanders, Will Johnson, Amarion Hampton, Josh Simmons, and Matthew Golden.
But that could be a move here. They do need a running back. Isn't Estimate technically? Isn't he a Bronco as well? If I remember from the.
Let me read that stat off.
Yes,
Gentlemen, I have a stat for you as well.
Stat us up.
Oh, God. Can only imagine.
As sixth overall pick, Ashton Gentry will make a fully guaranteed contract of roughly $32 million. That will make him the second highest paid NFL running back in terms of guaranteed money from a cap contract standpoint. Picking a running back this high is a low value proposition, they say.
Wow.
That's insane. I'm very like.
It's so much.
They still need to figure out quarterback. They still need to figure out quarterback out there in Vegas, but that's gonna be I think the talk of the draft between Hunter going second didn't surprise me. Jacksonville taking second, I think it's surprise, right? But that's one of those guys that we're gonna talk about that a lot. Yes, they addressed the need in Vegas, but did they get to go too high to do so? So I'm still waiting here to see what Denver does. Don't worry, we have enough commercials. In case you,
Man, this is crazy. It's been like 20 minutes since the last pick.
is he saying is this a Longhorn poll? Just two after the Gig'em again?
So Matthew Golden?
That would be a intriguing pick. As the ESPN broadcast bumps to Deion Sanders staring
Yeah, with Gilly.
at the draft. Very curious what's going through his head as his son waits to be picked. And some
English thing.
man a really big hat.
Better dad at getting his kids drafted, Dion or LeVar Ball?
LeVar.
By far, right?
Shiloh versus you're telling me Shiloh versus Lonzo Ball.
So is Shiloh the next Jello? He's going to be a rapper?
No, maybe he didn't get arrested yet, did he?
Not in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's kind of the decision because Jello also played a little bit in, like the minor leagues,
Right.
like so he even with him stealing in China, got somewhere. Yeah, LeVar Ball by a mile. The bottom
Wish
is
kid doing
The funny thing is they both had to get amputations.
yeah. Also, shout out to Trevor saying that this kid's a Make-A-Wish kid. That's just Drake May. That is Drake May. on the screen.
Barron.
Wow.
There's the Make-A-Wish kid. He just did the thing. John A. Barron or Barron, yeah.
Yeah,
Defensive
Jay
back,
Barron.
Texas.
That's again now. It's kind of the question we asked earlier, right? When we were talking about edge players, that's a cornerback that's not Will Johnson going. So there's Jonathan's made the point as he's walked away, so we can see his beautiful Budweiser flag. That
Sorry.
You're fine, but that Will Johnson was hurt and had some injuries, knocks throughout his time there at Michigan. So is that really hampering him? That could be a fair question.
It's got to be.
I'm really excited to see here what Pittsburgh does. Because this is one of the few spots where you could see a quarterback, right? The thought could be Shador, but what are we rocking with here? That's the question here.
I think the next two picks are going to be Shador then Will Johnson.
That wouldn't shock me.
I think Jackson Dart's going here.
That's the thing. Who is QB2? That's kind of been the question. Like in terms of quarterback questions, who's going to be QB2? That's where we sit right now is an obvious point. And then if they don't go QB, which I don't think they will, right? Does that mean Pittsburgh is inadvertently rolling out the red carpet for a guy like Aaron Rodgers? Which take that for what you will.
That's a good call there, though.
A lot of intrigue on this spot. Good on them for not moving up if they do take a quarterback, right, to sit at that same spot and go from there. Luke's telling us to look at our Rappaport's latest tweet. I cannot, as I have kind of some things going on. Maybe Caleb
is.
I could probably pull it up.
Yeah.
He posted something. It said Kayvon Thibodeau.
Is that a duck?
Abdul Carter to the Giants. A few minutes later, GM Joe Schoen says they're picking up Thibodeau's fifth-year option. You truly can't have too many pass rushers.
So Thibodeau, Abdul Carter is the future for the Giants. Good for them. I'm very curious with Dable again, somewhat of an offensive mind, if I remember him as kind of his coaching style, to be now this very defensive-minded team. So I'm very curious to see how his tenure continues there. Obviously, they've struggled, but he hasn't had tons of pieces. Now you have some identity in New York. That is very Thibodeau makes sense, right? To give him that type of money, he's been solid for a team that has not been that good. But you're basically saying to Dable, hey, we have a vision here. You got to execute. Because I wonder how much longer the leash is on a guy like that who had his moment that first year. He was pretty solid, and then they've not looked that good. It's not like Daniel Jones has taken off, which is good for him. But I think here this is a pick, which is surprising to say for the Steelers, a team that sometimes makes headlines, but not too many, right? I feel like this is a pick that's going to be very highly analyzed, and it is now in. So wait for 18 minutes of commercials. Caleb might figure out the real knows.
What? No, it won't connect to. I figured out how to move the remote. I have to put my hand behind the TV.
So,
Um,
and then Luke is telling us to keep on Rappaport's Twitter. He is hot here. Maybe
Read his tweet about Broncos. Okay, let me look again.
we're finding out Luke's source, which as a fellow journalist, Luke, here, I got to say, you can't be revealing your sources like
It says the Broncos made calls to move up, made calls to try to move out in front of the Steelers, but pick at number 20, Texas DB
yeah, it's
Jadar
not,
Barron.
the Wi-Fi like isn't working. I don't know.
who they
Nobody was basically moving in or up. Nobody's intrigued right now.
no, say, well, who are they trying to go for? Is it the question if they're trying to move up that much? That's Barron's not a bad pick. So
Goodell is at the podium.
all right.
Yeah, I might have to mute the chat for a second.
Harmon.
This is the most intriguing pick of the draft, boys. I might have to see this one.
Wow.
Who'd they take?
Eric Harmon.
Eric Harmon, defensive tackle from the University of Oregon.
Who drafted him?
Oh, look at these guys.
The Steelers. The Steelers
They
are
like
going
it.
to tackle.
They
Derek
didn't
Harmon.
go quarterback.
Dude,
They did
how
not
many-
go quarterback.
How many defensive
Chargers
linemen
are
have been
on.
picked so far in this draft?
Oh yeah,
Has to be a lot.
It's
That's you. There we go. That is the mode of intrigue.
No.
And that tells us, I think, so much about two different
You wait for
things.
them to
That
trade
is
up.
big. I'm restarting it too.
Is
this guy went to Oregon and he lives in Michigan.
No, he went to Michigan State.
there you go.
Clearly, he transferred to Oregon.
Yeah.
Dan
Gotcha.
Lanning's him. Dan Lanning's a fantastic recruiter and transfer portal guy. So props to him. That's why Oregon's been so good this last couple of years. But God,
The
this
what?
is so fascinating as Caleb forgets to mute himself. To see where the Steelers go. They go a little safe. Harmon's a good pick. He's a solid player. Again, not going to make maybe the pick itself won't be the headline. It's going to be who they didn't pick here, right?
Yeah.
They didn't go quarterback. They really didn't attack the offense at all, right? So, and they were a team that was very much like, hey, we have some pieces here. We can make some things work, right? And instead, go safe with a solid defensive tackle prospect. Instead of taking a swing on a guy like Shador, on a guy like Jackson Dart, who's gotten that buzz, or whoever your quarterback two is of choice. Does that mean they're thinking about a play for a guy like Aaron Rodgers? Because that's the person that's been rumored with that spot. So absolutely fascinating here. We go to Los Angeles. Again, another team that had a really good year. Jim Harbaugh did a really solid job this first year in LA. They have pieces. This does scream Will Johnson falling here, right? Guy, if I remember, he played under Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So you'll get your guy, get a guy you know, and it really feels like a steal. And you can take that type of swing here if you're LA because, yeah, you could use the cornerback help, but if he dies, if he's not that good or he kind of has those injury problems, you're not completely screwed.
It would.
So
It surprised the hell out of me if he doesn't pick Will Johnson. Be honest.
I mean, if you're talking
Harbaugh?
their secondary room, you add Will Johnson in, and he turns into what any of these guys thinks about. You're talking Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, and I can't even remember who the other guy is sitting across from Asante, but he's also better than most corners in the league.
Yeah, and you can take that swing. If he doesn't work out, this is not your draft that you go, oh no, this was a huge risk for him to fall this far.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a question of why. We don't know. We're not in the room here. Maybe Luke knows because he's, getting Rappaport tweets and sending them to us. But I'm just so intrigued by the move here by both the Steelers and also the Chargers as we get into this pick. But the Steelers pick is very telling. And I really start to ask the question, will we see another QB in this first round? Will Cam Ward be the only first round QB?
Yeah, there's 10 picks left, right?
Yeah. As I look down the board here, you have the Rams. You go back to Vegas. Vegas could go here with a QB in that type of spot. Miami, Minnesota, New England, New Orleans.
Who's at 22?
Chargers.
Yeah, right now it's the Chargers, which our guess is Will Johnson. So we'll take that for what that is. Luke now says that Ian Rappaport uses him to get his sources. So, hey,
What a
man,
guy.
you got to get him from somewhere. Some people are just that locked in, that deep. But no, I'm very curious to see as we get into this later draft who QB2 is now that the spot that a lot of people thought QB2 could be is not there. And who slides out of the first round as well. This is even in this later round, because you have so many talented players on the board, someone's going to slide that you didn't expect. And who jumps out of the first round? Hampton's going to probably go at some point. I'd be shocked if he keeps sliding this far out as well. But we got about 3 minutes left for LA. The Steelers, again, probably making the most interesting pick in this later half of the draft. Chargers feel pretty inevitable, Will Johnson, unless they move directionally different, which will then make us ask a lot of questions about Will Johnson.
Yeah, for sure.
This is kind of the spot where if he doesn't go here, then what? So, yeah, we've hit the 2 hour, 15-minute mark.
Wow.
This is what we try to do here.
This is the longest stream ever, right?
It's the longest stream by, I think our longest is an hour 45, our first one as we were a young budding podcast. Now continue to grow.
We're grizzled veterans now.
Hey, when you put the hours in, it wasn't 10,000 hours you got to do, so we're slowly climbing. But it
don't matter if it's a 45-minute stream or a 2-hour stream. That man Trevor's gonna be posted up regardless.
Hey, at least my man Trev isn't on the toilet like he was that one episode.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Don't numb the toilet legs after that type of stream. We're not good here.
That was my OnlyFans. Sorry.
As a teacher, you're another teacher with an OnlyFans. You're not the first.
So yeah, no.
Come on.
We don't get paid enough, dude.
Oh, hey, it's our pro teacher on the show.
As long as the village PD don't have to investigate you, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that we're going to lose Trevor for a couple of weeks as he goes through pending legal litigation. This show gets used in the courtroom.
Right. Conflict of interest for me.
It was when he was having the kids in his mines for Minecraft. That's what it came back to.
Whoa. Oh, a family show slowly deteriorates block by block. Yeah, but no, this has been fun. 5 people on this show. We've been making it rock, man.
So, new subject. They need to shorten the minutes that they put these people on the clock. It should be like 30 seconds. And you just have to go.
The problem is they like to build up the hype of the first couple of picks. So they have to, at least in this first round, give everyone 10 because you pick whatever team would be like, oh, the first pick got 10 minutes and we got, they'd say 5. Let's say you cut it in half and we got 5. That's unfair.
They've had the last 4 months, though. Figure it out.
You would think. And these guys, it's I'm not acting like all these guys are that smart. All right. I watched the Bears for years. Their front office sometimes makes me question my existence. But like they have boards. They know, they should hopefully know if our best guy doesn't it gets picked beforehand, we could go to another option. But even with this 10-minute pick right now, LA, according to my ESPN app, only has around 20 seconds left to make it. So they're going down to the wire. Is Jim Harbaugh just trying to build some intrigue here? Are they making a move? I wouldn't see why they would unless they really don't love anybody here.
He's having a warm glass of milk right now, relaxing.
As long as he doesn't have it with the recruit, as long as with a cheeseburger, everything is fine.
And he's got his shirt on right now. That's
there we go. Now, according to my clock, they ran out of time, but the pick is in. So who knows? Maybe they're using Caleb's Wi-Fi and they got the pick in a couple seconds late. Everything's fine. We're okay. See, I wish we had ad breaks because this next pick, which is the Green Bay Packers, I'd take a lovely ad break for. Even if it was 10 for 10 whole minutes, I'd rather not talk about that team up north, but we got to do what we got to do. We serve our viewership to the best of our abilities. But yeah, Nick Saban here is talking about something. Again, we don't want to get copyrighted, so I can't tell you what he's saying because I'm not hearing it. Kirk Herbstreit, now an NFL analyst and college football analyst and constant whiner, is also on the desk here as I watch. But yeah, I think we've exhausted the angles of the Chargers pretty well, right? It's Will Johnson or what the hell is he doing?
Right.
or at least if they go a different direction, that we ask more questions about Will than anything else. So next we do look to Green Bay, the host city. I wonder how many people are sober in that big crowd behind basically the game day team.
-5.
That's probably a good bet. I'd probably go -50, but
Yeah.
again,
Better question is how many are passed out laying on the ground right now?
they're probably all in Lambeau. That's why I stopped taking the bump shots inside the stadium, because everyone in there is just out.
That's a great call.
Yeah, that's my best guess, is they're sitting within Lambeau. That's the only time they can black out in Lambeau.
Yeah.
Unless it's a playoff game, because then every year they do that too. That's fine. But
Trevor, put
Yeah.
the bondage string up.
Sorry, I thought this was my OnlyFans.
I was going to say, we were getting to the 2 hour and 20-minute mark here. And
I got bored, so I ripped my drawstring out of my shorts.
no, my Lord.
Intrusive thoughts.
It sounded way worse than it actually was, too.
You guys have
All
been
right,
grinding
dude.
2 hours, 20 minutes. That's rough. I mean, it's a long damn time, especially when the host is
The whole time, me and Jerry.
and your host and idea man is still messing around with chords.
And hey,
The
he wants
dude
us to
hasn't-
do challenges whenever we lose a bet.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't want to eat things I
I
don't
mean,
want to eat.
I mean, the banana thing. I mean, that
Ooh.
felt pretty
John,
weak
I'm
to
gonna
me.
interrupt you.
This is
Omarion
basically
Hampton.
my punishment.
Omarion Hampton is your pick for the Los Angeles Chargers.
John Hampton.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, the Chargers didn't pick Will Johnson. Maybe,
It's his injury. I'm telling you.
or maybe
Yeah.
nobody just
All right.
wants to
I
deal
gotta
with it.
use the restroom. Stretch
Just
my
mute yourself and
gams.
put yourself on.
Can
Just
we-
mute yourself, buddy.
Hey, it's a nice shirt, Trev. I got the same one.
Thanks. Yeah, 5-0 middle school team. Great coaches.
You guys
2 years in a
celebrate-
row, brother.
I mean, I know there's not a lot of Michigan fans that don't want to hear it, but Benjamin Morrison is better than Will Johnson. So there could be a slide, gentlemen, and we could be seeing a pick happen here if it wasn't just for Benjamin Morrison's injury.
I'm still impressed by that. I mean, this is wow. And like, at least again, guys, that we only know so much, right? Will Johnson had the high grades.
Oh
In
yeah.
college ball, Benjamin Morrison was more consistent. I think that's a very fair point. And he looked better game in, game out. But, the draft grades between these guys were way different. Not that much different, but at least, like, this guy's supposed to be top 10. Now we're sitting here at 23.
Mhm.
And I think that, what will be frustrating is the Shedeur Sanders headline will get plenty of play unless he gets picked here in the next couple.
Yeah, Will
like-
Johnson will be able to hide behind that.
But this is honestly probably the story of the draft, to see him drop as much. And with Green Bay, they could take this swing too on him, but if Jim Harbaugh didn't feel confident in that swing, why would Green Bay?
Right. That's
And that's now kind of the question I think faces Will Johnson, is the guy who coached you in college, the guy who didn't have you didn't have to go super safe. You could go a couple different directions. You could take a little bit of a flyer on somebody at this spot and where you are as a team. Did not take a flyer on your guy. So that's pretty damning. It's kind of, I would say, is as damning as Shedeur not going to like the team like the Steelers that need a quarterback. That's like the obvious hole and they don't feel it there. But that's just going to get, things just got real weird real quick. So now, according to our insider, some call him Luke Shefty, or at least
Luke Shefty.
he can't call himself Luke Rappaport because he works with Rappaport to give him the information, right? Gotta be fair. You gotta respect the game when you see it, right? They're saying the Packers are taking calls. Earlier Seattle was supposed to be taking calls too. So yeah, yes, it's one thing to take the call, it's another to make it and to go through all the way. But I could see Green Bay moving. Any team here could move if they get a piece that they feel fits. Even if it's somewhat more rotational, you're not going to get a star, right, for the 23rd pick in the NFL draft. But if you want to move to someone more experienced on an expiring contract that fits a gap right now, I could see that move here. As on the broadcast, oh my Lord, they have found the one thing Wisconsin is good at for the College Game Day set, known for eating on set. They're eating an extravagant amount of looks like cheese and probably
Ooh,
I bet none of it's blue.
yeah.
Well, it's like cheese. It looks like cheese curds. I can't tell what's on the right on my screen here. Maybe wings. It's basically bar food, which is what the whole state is. So take that for what you will. What is funny is they have to waste time. Oh, there's some brats there too. Okay. Yeah, some brats, some wings, some chips. They made Desmond Howard have to walk all the way over because Nick Saban and Kirk Herbstreit are the ones manning away at the food. But unlike college game day where they usually bring the food out and then they go to breaks, so they can like take a bite, act like it's good, and then leave. They got to eat that stuff for 4 more minutes at least.
Right.
Because
Kirk,
well, who knows?
Kirk's already sweating. Now he's got a
Kirk
Diet Coke.
Born sweating. Kirk Herbstreit's son goes to Michigan. He's an Ohio State grad. That man is his own level of chaos.
I still hate him. Dude, my Twitter profile picture was him getting rocked and getting kicked out, or getting knocked out of a game for so long.
He just knows better than everybody on everything, according to him.
Yeah.
But our humble podcast here, we will not tell you that we're better than you, unlike some people on that set. Like a Kirk Herbstreit. We don't know any better than Nick Saban, that's for sure.
I'll tell you who's not better than anybody is Caleb in this damn. He's frozen again.
We just got used to having you, man.
Yeah. Hostile takeover. We'll just get rid of him.
On his own Facebook. Again, this whole broadcast, which has been a Caleb takedown, is happening on his own.
Nothing's worked. I have no idea what's going on with anything. TVs don't work around here. This place is shit.
Well, maybe you should have left a couple hours earlier.
Yeah, the family show going out the window.
We left right. It wouldn't have mattered. But no, we left right in time. It's just we got caught in traffic.
Well, maybe if you left a couple hours earlier, you wouldn't have got caught in traffic.
The question facing America.
This guy thinks he is somebody. Where are we at in this draft?
Packers.
Where are we at in the draft?
Packers pick 23.
Who are they taking, Caleb? Caleb.
Well, I like it. The left side of the screen's like going all black. Then the little triangle of
With a triangle of lights.
Trevor was talking about Mike Green, gentlemen. That's another name we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
He's still on the board. That is actually crazy that he's still on the board. Actually,
Nick's. I don't know what's Nick Scorton too, the Texas A&M dude. That dude, I watched him against Notre Dame. He was tearing us up.
He's special. He was a guy who left Purdue to go to A&M under Elko. And Elko also has a good track record. He's a very good defensive coach. You want to talk about guys who can develop players. I'm very high on Mike Elko. Obviously, we saw what he did at Duke getting College Game Day there, that when he was still head coach. I look at I know he's not going to be probably drafted, a guy like Riley Leonard who got fostered in under him, even though he's more of an offensive player, right? So, and A&M already had a guy going in the first round. They have talent on that roster. Right? Not to overly college football, the NFL draft, right? But a guy like Scorn, he would feel very Green Bay as we get an Eagle popping in the chat. Are we going to Auburn?
No, it'd be Boston College.
Boston College? Who is from Boston College is hiding in the first round?
The edge rusher from Boston College.
Got to be a defensive player.
That's right. It's not going to be Castellanos because he was he's somewhere. He tore up Mizzou a bit, though. But yeah, Green Bay has in their home city. It took them somehow 10 minutes to get the pick almost in.
Donovan as a rookie. That's what he's talking about.
I act like my bag is not that deep on that pick, but Green Bay usually finds a good way to get guys. I can't lie here as I watch them usually terrorize the Bears year in and year out. Outside of last year, that's all I can tell you. Or this year, actually. And technically, we're 1-0 against the Packers. Go Bears.
The Eagles were the team on the phone. Whoa.
Howie Roseman, social media's GM.
Well, if they trade, who are they trading up for, Trev? It's your team.
I have no idea. Will Johnson.
I mean, if you want to talk about a team that could take a swing on a guy who's falling.
Yeah.
That would be the thing here. But yeah, one of the points we made earlier on one of these 4 million Luke bombs was that guys aren't moving. Teams are not moving from their spots.
No. There's been one trade so far?
Yeah, and it was for the second pick. And that was a lot of picks in return back and forth between both sides.
Oh, yeah.
It was really a trade down more from Cleveland than a trade up, I think, for Jacksonville. for Cleveland to jump 3 spots down and get the guy that they wanted there. It sounds like, or at least I'm going to imagine if they went down that far. But like, they have had a lot of phone calls, but granted that happens every year, but not a lot of middle to late round movement. You're not seeing like a veteran player get in a first round pick here move to a team that's contending for future picks, which maybe we'll see here sneak in later for a team that's trying to make a swing, gets a guy in an expiring deal, and someone kind of sneaks into the first round for a second time to take a shot. I don't know, right? My sources, again, non-existent. But if you want a car chase in St. Louis, like we did earlier, I talk about a callback. Got my sources in on that.
Who's this guy?
This is a player, and I think they're something in their office.
The one nice thing is it tells me the Vikings still have 8 minutes to make their pick as Green Bay walks up.
Well, that's a plus.
Uh-oh, we're calling to hook 'em horns already. It is horns down in this household, I gotta say. It's always horns down here, no matter what. What poster is hiding up here? No, Lordy. Man, we've hit the 2 hour and 30-minute mark as I try to find words to say to describe what the pick, least favorite team in the NFL makes their pick, but we'll make it through as they get ready to select. I wonder if this is like the GM. He's going to probably rile up the Green Bay crowd, all blacked out, and not going to remember the pick anyways at this point.
Hell no.
God, I like how they're doing this really wide bump shots, and it's just a dark area.
Dude, his teeth look blacked out. Look at that Bryce Underwood jersey. Nice.
He better be good. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I agree with you.
He better be good.
He's starting from what my dad said. He said Jaden Davis has got a hitch in his pass, or in his motion, is what he said. So that's breaking news.
Oh, wide receiver. Who though? Okay. Matthew Golden, Texas.
Wow.
Wow.
Did old boy just call another one right?
Yep.
Well, he was going. Oh, okay. Now we see. It's like because we get these early, almost like crystal balls. It makes sense now we got the Eagle logo because that meant they were trying to trade for the pick. Then we went to the horns. Matthew Golden was very, very good.
I wonder who the Eagles are trying to get.
Will Johnson.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I had him 12 on my mock draft.
That's a solid grab for them too because they need help on the offense. Like the receivers have been all right or very injured, right? So he could walk in there. Luke saying the Packers got a bunch of receiver threes. He could walk in there and be one. He's not as good as McMillan. But he's just such a different player. Yeah, you don't see the 6'5" guy who's just still explosive, does everything else in between. But Golden helped make Quinn Ewers look like a guy you could draft, which says a lot. I think Quinn Ewers is not that good.
So did the Packers just draft him because they're there, so they felt like guilted into doing that?
So they could make the fans happy because they got a good reaction from that point. But now, that guy has to go out and perform. There's another aspect to that. Yeah, you can make the fans happy on draft night. But like I said, that's a great – I think if you're looking for somebody to make it happen with Jordan Love, and we all know what Jordan Love is capable of, no matter if you're a Lions, Bears, if you're just an NFL fan, Jordan Love is – a talented quarterback, and you get him the right receiver, he's somebody that's explosive like that.
We talked about a lot teams not moving. They didn't have to move to get a guy that really fits there and helps. Like teams aren't moving, and they're still running into a lot of spots where we haven't had too many. I want to say complete head scratchers. Where you go, we didn't have a Michael Penix, right? We go like, what? What's going on here? Like you could justify a lot of these picks. Now you want to talk about a team justifying picks quickly. Minnesota already has their pick in according to ESPN. We won't see it for another 10 minutes here.
Matthew Golden is still taking the stage.
No, Golden can do a lot of work here. We're getting another. Is another crimson and white? Are we sneaking there? That was the last time we got a little peek.
What was it
crimson and white?
It was Ohio State last time.
That was Ohio State last time.
Are they going
or that tackle?
Oh,
Henderson or Josh Simmons.
Luke Hoxie, who's a Lions fan, tapping in here saying that.
Maybe they're getting crybaby Jack Sawyer.
Yeah, Luke, when are you joining in the screen?
It's gonna spoil the
Probably a
whole
little
stream.
too
It's actually
early
more
for-
fun to get our Luke bombs.
No, I'll yeah, true. I got to trade off with him.
Now, don't worry, we could just kick Caleb.
Yeah, pretty much.
He basically isn't here anyway.
He hasn't said much the last hour.
Hey, dumbass, your ceiling fan's making me dizzy.
Nobody fucking cares what you think.
Let's
It's
show
after,
program.
it is after
show.
hours here on the unnamed show that we do because I can't
I
even
would
throw
just-
it to a title.
I would
It's
just
the
love
VOC
something-
after dark.
I would just love something that worked in this house.
Man goes away from house for show, complains when other house doesn't have things to work. But hey, the wings are 8 out of 10.
Duality of man.
Nothing works in this
They're-
house.
They're pretty dry.
Yeah, neither do you.
The Wi-Fi doesn't work. Nothing works.
Green screen's going up north, but he's really at his house. That should be
Should we drive? Should we drive over there real quick?
Yeah.
If I was at my house, I'd be able to watch the draft.
Fair enough.
It's hard for me to feel bad for you when you're the man who willingly went all the way up there.
Yeah, you couldn't have waited till tomorrow.
No, some people are doing the good deed,
What's the good deed?
working.
Working. Working on pissing me off is what you're doing.
Do you care why?
Dang.
I'm gonna go egg your house tonight.
Do it.
That's an expensive prank nowadays. Yeah, that's a financial commitment.
Oh yeah.
Right? And the only place is open is the Phillips 66, so I'm sure their eggs are like $20 a carton.
Yeah. Maybe you just get some White Castle sliders.
Ooh, there you go.
I'll never eat that crap again.
Yeah, it'd be
Everyone
perfect
has a
bragging.
horror story with White Castle sliders.
Oh, that's awful. I got fired from Harding's because we went to White Castle on the 4th of July. Bad idea.
You used to work at Harding's?
Oh, yeah.
Caleb is there. he's just waiting for the right thing to be said.
Give me like 5 minutes, and I'll be like, I think I may have something to work for. I have to be on my phone.
We've given you 2 hours and 40 minutes, buddy.
Yeah.
Jerry, I need to write a pick down for this. Who we got, Jerry? Who's our guest?
Oh, well, wait a second. I don't feel confident about pulling the pick here yet because Luke's dropping a Giants eyes emoji bomb here. Uh-oh.
I told you. I told
It's Jackson
you, Gary.
Dart, though,
Galen
if it's the
Milrow.
Giants.
Not
If
Jackson
it's the
Dart.
Giants, the Jackson Dart move
I
here, will
told you,
Dable be
Jerry.
able to do it? Hey, this could be the move here.
You guys
I
think
can't
we
put in
got
my
the
pick
Kahunas?
because Donovan Jackson, the Buckeye,
Oh,
the
yeah.
offensive guard, will be joining the Minnesota Vikings.
Wait, so then maybe he's talking about
The Texans.
Texans trading their pick to the Giants?
I can't believe the Texans are picking
Maybe.
25th.
Why would
This
the
is that-
Texans move? I mean,
They don't need any more weapons. They need to settle down.
I think
a
the
little bit.
problem was the Texans probably wanted who the Vikings just picked.
He's not very good.
He's good. He just
Yep.
had injuries.
Houston trades pick to New York.
There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got to watch this one live.
All right. Is it Jackson Dart time, or will
You think they go
Shador make
Shador?
his? Does Shador get his New York moment?
Oh, what
I
the
bet he
heck?
does.
As we're 2 hours and 40 minutes in, this is what you come to the VOC. I think this is the VOC for is late round drama, and maybe Caleb, figuring out his computer. But most importantly, the
watching-
late round drama.
I think he's got it.
It's a little glitchy, but I'm watching.
So he's at least been able to watch the draft. So we have gotten one step in. Maybe by hour 4, he will be on a computer.
Maybe by the end of the draft, maybe by the Eagles pick, I can have something working.
That if New York's moving up, the question now feels like, is it Jackson Dart or Shador?
It's got to be
And-
Sycamore. There's no way it's not.
They're showing Shador right now.
Is he on the phone?
Let's see
No, they're showing Dion
Neon Dion.
and the dude that wears those really big hats.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
Gilly.
They with him. Yeah.
Gilly the kid.
Oh, now they're showing Jackson Dart.
Wait, Gilly's there?
Yeah, Dion
Yeah,
ain't
Gilly's
letting
there.
Dion ain't letting Shadur go down there to New York and fail. He probably this is Jackson Dart, gentlemen.
What the?
But does Dion let his son maybe go to a better team that doesn't have the same media clout?
Maybe he pulls a Eli Manning.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
Because you know what would be a wild move here? What if Shador Sanders ends up in LA? They pick next.
Whoa. That would be
Could
crazy.
be.
Behind
That could-
Stafford.
Back up Stafford for a couple of years.
You put him in LA too. You can argue, okay, he's got his spotlight. He can be where he wants, right? Because one of the things about Shador, at least the widely publicized thing, right, is a little bit of ego, a little bit of attitude. Fair or not fair, who knows? Sometimes the draft evaluation process makes out villains. They don't need be. Oh, Lord, Caleb has just deleted like everybody off the screen.
But I'm still here.
Trev has still made it. Caleb
What?
is in one screen.
What just happened?
I deleted everyone. This is my show now.
Trevor.
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Caleb, what do you get your stuff together, bro?
We are the unnamed voices behind Trev just leading the
Yes.
show. We don't
Any-
even have a background. It's just Trevor and Caleb.
I can see Caleb, but I can see Caleb's frozen yet again.
Yeah.
He can knock me and Jonathan off, but not Jerry. What is he doing? This is
No, he's
unacceptable.
not trying to do it.
Right.
It's just St. Louis erasure. It's like the NFL trying to get out of St. Louis.
What a complete
Like the good old
shit
days.
show
This
this has
reminds me
turned
of 2
into.
hours ago.
The consistent pieces of a falling program. The 2-win team that has 2 top 10 draft picks. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right now. We're Rutgers basketball. That's what we are.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
And of course, our technical difficulties arise amidst another moment of possible chaos where we could see a QB finally come off the board.
Yeah. Way to go, Caleb.
So, hey, me and Trevor will hold it down for you guys here watching. Again, 2 hours, 40 minutes in. We appreciate everyone who's sticking with us. Luke dropping a little bit of a hint here. He's got the dart. He's got the
Jackson
dartboard.
Dart.
He's saying Jackson Dart. He's pulling the Jackson Dart. He's been pretty hot. Outside of the trade rumors,
What do you think?
my man
That's
Luke
what I'm saying.
has been hot.
Jackson.
It's got to be Shador.
Huh?
He's throwing the dart out in the chat. And again, if you look at our chat here history, Luke's been dominating at least on our end.
QB off.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch and get his stats and like post them as the greatest picker of all time.
The
His
sources
points are
say
pretty
his
elite.
sources are good. That's
He's
what I'm
gotta-
hearing.
He's got to be
There we
batting.
go.
He's
And
got to be
like,
batting like 980 right now.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
And
Yeah.
Caleb
No.
just found his way in at the end.
2 hours and 40 minutes in. Caleb's here.
Idiot.
I am now watching on my phone, and my laptop is now working. I had to put on my own hotspot. It took forever, but it's working.
Jesus Christ.
Caleb,
I got to go
how-
get a phone charger.
How do you feel about this draft, Caleb?
I mean, it's been wacky, which I think it was everything we thought it was going to be.
Just like our show.
Yeah, no one knows what the hell's ever going to happen. But no, I mean, it doesn't make any sense about what's happened with some of these picks. Hoxie is still Adam Schefterring us here with Falcons.
Falcons, Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, that could
That
go.
sounds very right there, Jerry.
Yeah, you want to talk about? We want to add some chaos. Kirk Cousins, Shadur Sanders, Michael Penix.
Who
Put him
wants
in a
the
QB
job?
room.
In the ATL. Dude, Jackson Dart looks like he's 15 years old.
He might throw 15 picks. Who knows? But he might.
Jackson
be
Dart has a little Zach Wilson qualities to me.
Oh.
He's.
But he wasn't
Mormon?
drafted second overall. That's
Am I the,
Yeah.
no, he's not. But am I the only one that kind of gets that vibe? I feel like
He's like a pretty boy kind of guy.
kind of like probably does well with mothers and just
yeah.
like,
The thing I don't know with Jackson Dart is like how much of the Ole Miss offense translates to the pros. Where like Lane Kiffin is a fantastic offensive mind, but especially at the college level where you have a little bit more space, you can drag things out. He wasn't necessarily that impressive of a QB. He just fit that system well. But in times I look at Kiffin kind of like Shanahan, where it's like you don't have to have the best QB. Speaking of, Jackson Dart officially a New York
Jackson
Giant.
Dart.
Wow. Who would have thought?
And I'm very curious with this pick because again earlier we were talking about Dable. He can be a good QB
He
builder.
loves him, man. He loved Jackson Dart. Loved him.
Will this translate? Will the Lane Kiffin offense, which is very spread heavy and makes a lot of quarterbacks look good? Again, I keep looking at Matt Corral, who I thought was a better overall.
I thought
quarterback.
Matt Corral was going to be great at one time.
I thought he might have been better than Jackson Dart was, but is this the Lane Kiffin offense propping him up, or does he have the skills? And can New York give him the stability to grow a little bit? Because you're not taking him second. You didn't take him with your first round pick.
But
he
you
has
traded
his
back
flaws.
up to get him though. This is going to be
you traded back up in the end of the round, which is you have some value in him. You see
Rams
something
trade
there.
pick.
Dude,
To
To the
Atlanta.
Falcons? Oh,
Atlanta moves.
so now they're getting Shador.
Oh,
That would be crazy. But who else would they trade up for?
I mean, they drafted his dad, right?
Yeah.
that would
yeah,
be
but you don't need a
insane.
quarterback though. It'd be stupid. Unless they've
They
traded
did-
Michael
they
Penix
tried-
to the Rams to move up.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's a lot.
The only person that would move would be like is Kirk
I
still
think-
there?
I think corner, right? Will Campbell's still there. Or Will Johnson.
Will Campbell.
No,
I say Will
Will
Campbell, Will
Johnson.
Johnson, different.
Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, you
Get it
could make that
together.
swing.
It's defense. I agree. I think it's defense.
Well, they
Because
picked
they
quick.
want Jalen Walker, so they went with a pass rusher. I mean, their coach is defensive, so
Yeah, and then from here we kind of just get into teams that can take swings post, and maybe we'll see some movement finally at the end here. Right after Atlanta, whose pick is now in, you go Baltimore, Buffalo, you have then Carolina and Cincinnati as your final first round picks here. So I'm very curious, especially the team like the Ravens, and see what they do or if they move off either.
How many of
you
those
know.
teams need a quarterback?
Yeah,
No.
we probably barring any
Shador's
Major-
going to stick around.
Yeah. Shador Sanders going in the second round. It's going to be the thing that we talked about a lot. It makes a lot of headlines. But if Will Johnson doesn't go here, I think that's probably one of the
He had
craziest
that
and big talking
great-
points.
Shador had that great setup to go in the second round.
But I'm curious to see where we move here. But yeah, Jackson Dart, that's QB2, which early in the draft process, I don't think that would have been the pick. If we look at this at the start of the college football season to now. But now we rock here, and again, Luke Shefty out here.
I think
He's saying Will Johnson's going to be moving.
I think that gives us some idea of who it is.
Which is interesting too, because a team that could have taken a swing on Will Johnson and probably paid off of it a little bit too would have been Baltimore. They could take a little bit of a risk on our flyer end of the defensive end because they're not that bad defensively, and could have taken a quarterback. But if Atlanta moves up one to get him, that's tough. They almost fell into him, which that feels like if that were to work out, you have a lot of people staring at their GMs going, "Why the hell did you let that happen?"
What's the Falcons owner's name?
Arthur Blank.
He looks like a mafioso.
He's got money like one too.
Dude,
He started Home Depot.
He looks like he lives by La Costa Nostra.
Home Depot. That's what he started.
He gave the Rams an offer they can't refuse.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Just more picks because the Falcons got their pick, third round pick. It looks like they swapped some picks here. So the Rams weren't that tells me also the Rams didn't see anything here.
I think
Of
the
insane
Rams
value.
wanted a tight end, then they didn't fall.
No, Harold Fannin Jr. still on the board,
Well, I don't think.
and
you
I
take
think
him in the
Fannon's a
first
good.
round.
I
think he's good, but he's not first
Here
round.
we are. He's at the podium.
You bring up a great point there, Jerry. I mean, that dude's seasons should be written in the history books, no matter what level he's playing at.
He made Bowling Green.
James Pierce Jr.
Tennessee's own James Pierce Jr.
Wow.
edge.
They want two edges.
They want to attack. We talked about a defensive-minded guy here. If you think you feel convicted, and that if he's supposed to be a defensive guy, that makes sense. Again, a lot of good edges in this class, and James Pierce Jr. is probably in other classes maybe not sneaking this deep. But you have
They
a
must
lot of
have
good
felt
edges
that
to go.
Baltimore was going to take him.
4.47, gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's what that guy's running. What was? I mean, I would
I
not
think
want to be that
4.47.
quarterback.
I
Wow.
also seen Isaiah Simmons run great at the combine as well and get draft fifth.
I want to
And I
throw
don't think
something
he's
out
done
here.
anything in the NFL.
We're going to go to Baltimore next unless they move their pick. I want to see here as an SEC Missouri homer. What if Luther Burden goes to the Ravens? What do you think?
I think
It's a good
it
pick.
could happen.
They could use some help on their receiver core. And imagine that type of trio of a gadget guy like him with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
But do you also then get help and take a swing on a Will Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, that feels like the Ravens would make that pick, though, because it just feels like somebody that they could bring into their system. He'd fit in there. You know, when you have a team and an organization like that they believe that they can fix guys with character issues. They've drafted Michigan players in the past, clearly.
They did pick a great number 2 for Michigan a long time ago, and it got him to the Super Bowl. Just got fucked on the tuck rule.
The Ravens?
Oh, I thought we were talking about the Raiders.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
No.
he was the first pick last year if they did it.
But now as we get close to the 3-hour mark here, Caleb's finally in full force. Thank God. You know, we're getting tired out here. We got to finish out the show now.
I've been here the entire time, just in spirit.
No, you definitely weren't here when I was on.
Playing, it's more of a playing her. I really appreciate everybody. That's got us here to this point in life.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Self-inflicted wound.
You've played her
it's
your
great.
entire life with the brain you got.
What? Why don't you go in a porta potty and do some crazy stuff they used to do back over the sea? That's what I thought. Yep.
Over the sea.
No, I mean, I really appreciate it. Trevor asked me if we were going to do a Sunday show. Probably not after this. I may
You're giving Trevor a damn break.
I'm giving you guys a day off because you guys have done great. I thought my phone could withstand the entire time, but we got to that restaurant. I realized.
Remember when I was on my phone?
Yeah.
It was like giving me 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah, I just knew. I was like, my phone is not
StreamYard, dude. It gets your phone going.
It does.
You ruined your entire show for 10 dry ass wings.
I didn't have 10. I had 6 wings
And some soggy fries out of a bag.
No, I would argue this has been probably one of our better shows. We have random people in here that I have no idea who the hell they are. Great.
Well, they're friends of no one's.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know who they are, so it counts.
So they don't exist.
I think even Mama Bear was in here. So
yeah, exactly. Like, we're just balling out of control. Some people say life is easy, but clearly I make my life the hardest it possibly can be.
Your life ain't that hard, bro.
Clearly today it has been. It's been
you wake up, you wear the same clothes for days on end, don't shower.
I do shower. I do shower.
But you don't change your clothes.
Well, here's the deal. If I'm in the house,
I've got photo evidence.
If I'm in the house and all I do is wear those clothes in the house for maybe 2 hours before I go to bed every day, I can get a solid 2-3 days out of those clothes.
No,
dude, logic.
Same underwear?
No, I changed my underwear.
Okay.
But he doesn't understand that sweat still seeps through your underwear and gets on your shorts.
No, I have quality underwear. Sorry, I don't wear Hanes boxer briefs like you. Some people step it up.
I don't either. I wear Shinesty. I think that's how you say it. I'll send you.
Jonathan, you ain't wearing no shiesties.
It's ball hammocks, bro.
Bulldog.
Someone saying bulldog here. Who is a bulldog that's left for the Ravens?
Oh Lord, they would find a Georgia man sneaking through.
Oh, Malachi Stark.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah.
why I have written down for
Malachi
my mock
Starks.
draft.
Malachi Starks.
If you're talking about safeties, him and Nick Mariani, South Carolina. Those are your guys.
The South Carolina kid scares me because he
Caleb.
but he does guys that are like combine warriors like that. They scare me.
Combine Warriors. I mean, dude was All American. He allowed a QBR of 28.6 to go along
Dude, that
with
kid could ball.
88 tackles and
Not
4
combine
picks.
warrior.
No,
He's gonna be a
South Carolina.
Those are stats.
He's gonna be a great second round pick.
No, South Carolina produces really talented guys, but has terrible coaching. Shane Beamer is not that good of an actual Saturday coach, but he's produced some guys that can play on Sunday. I look at the guys like J.C. Horn; he was insane. They have talent in hiding in the Palmetto State and the Gamecocks right there.
Holy crap!
Jadavian Clowney knocking off that Michigan helmet off Jonathan's boy.
Huh? Yeah, that was a sad day
Combine
in my
warrior.
house.
Combine
That was the
warrior.
Spurrier days, man.
Oh,
The
Combine
Spurrier
warrior.
Gamecocks.
Dude, I was hungover that day, and we
Has
went to
this
the
draft
Flakes and Niles and got
taken this
breakfast.
long this entire time?
Yes,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah, I'm actually glad my mind hasn't fully been on this. I actually feel really bad for you guys because this is taking forever to get the picks.
No, it's terrible.
I've been here. Me and Jerry have been here since pick one.
No, I know, but this is ridiculous.
They're carrying your ass.
Oh my god.
Jerry is doing most of the carrying.
No, this is
Martin,
great. I like I said, I'm very appreciative of this. But it's just now that my brain is fully into this draft, this is terrible.
It should have been fully into it 3 hours ago.
No, my brain was fully into it the first couple picks, and then as I went to the Bar Rescue restaurant, and
Yep,
everything
Malachi
that,
Starks is a Baltimore Raven.
everything that
There
perspired
you
there
go.
at that place, I've just trying to get a TV to work
Another
downstairs.
great player
Wi-Fi's
just
not
falls into
working.
Baltimore's lap.
That's a good pick. He can play corner and safety.
Yep.
John Gruden approved. He went down to Gruden's camp
All right.
down there, and
We all got to
It's
make
big
our
time.
predictions on the Lions pick, though, before Luke Rappaport puts us in.
Will Johnson.
I don't.
I would love. I'm just gonna be a
George
homer here. I
Sanders.
would love Luther Burden here.
Here's the other problem. Is it just me, or they have not shown the best available on this
No,
ticker?
they're not.
Not
At
for
all.
a while.
Not the draft.
I don't know
like
any.
Mel Kuyper's.
Yeah, where's Mel's top guys? I don't know who's left in this draft.
It's
Here, Caleb, I'll read it off
Marion
to you.
Hampton got drafted. Shador
I'll
Here you
Sanders
go.
is still at the
Caleb.
top.
Will Johnson.
Mike
Number
Green,
one.
Jihad Campbell, Luther Burden,
Mike
Johnson,
Green.
Will Johnson.
Mike Green. Mike Green's no, he's not. Mike
Yeah,
Green's
yes,
still
he
available.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Mike
the
Green.
Lions are taking.
That's
The
it.
Lions are taking Mike Green.
That's
I
what
was going to say,
trying
do you
to
think they go as an insurance policy?
They're taking Mike Green all day, dog. They
Well,
need
that's not
another
an insurance policy.
I
He's
think
a
the
man.
Eagles are going to end up with that dude from Boston College.
Okay, so the Lions could take the guy from Boston College.
Or then maybe the Eagles will get Mike Green.
I think it's probably either way. They're probably gonna be a flip flop there.
So, do you think it was
I'm
worth?
fine with that.
Do you think it was worth him getting his jersey retired to go in the second round?
Shador?
Shador
Yeah.
Sanders.
No,
I mean-
Shadur's going to the Lions, Jonathan.
No
Golf can
bullshit.
out.
Bullshit.
Shit. Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. That's where
Yeah,
they're
they
gonna
already
go.
got their pick.
I'll break the
They
TV
did it.
and my
that
phone.
That pick came in quick.
Yeah,
they were
Shador's
happy.
gonna take their market and
I'll break stuff.
increase it in size.
I will
Are you gonna go back
crash
to being a
out, as the
Raiders
kids
fan?
say. What'd you say?
You go back to being a Raiders fan then?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're glitching again.
Yeah, okay.
Mike Green.
This guy used to be a Raiders fan, and
Luke, what we got?
lacklusterly funny.
I like that. I got an AFC
I-
team and an NFC team. I don't see what the
That's
problem
us.
is.
That's
You
not
like-
how it works.
You like Notre Dame and you like Michigan State. I don't talk shit about you for that.
There's a big difference. I went to school there and grew up a fan of the other.
I was in the Guard in Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, huh?
I didn't know that you were a Lions fan until
They used to come talk to us.
We get into the
you
third
used
hour.
to
we start
rock
questioning
it was a
fandom.
vintage Raider.
I still have it. I still have the hat.
Yeah, you do because you were a fan of that before.
Dude, I got a Raiders chain and it's a spinner.
Yeah, because you were a Raiders
It
fan
might,
first.
be
It's
out
fine.
here.
Like,
I might have to go
no
look for
problem.
it. It's epic. I bought it for my dad for Christmas. He didn't like.
I see your
He didn't like it.
true colors. That's why I love you. Don't be ashamed that you're a Raiders fan first. What's the
This is what
zip
happens
code
you
of
get 3
Detroit?
hours
You're
in on
such a
a
homer.
V.O.C.
Yeah, we're singing 3 hours in, and we start singing.
What's the zip
You
code?
know,
Are you trying to dox him, dude?
Yeah, I
What
am.
zip code? What are you talking
Detroit
about?
zip code. What's Detroit zip code?
Oh my god, are we doing trivia now? Guess that zip code.
everybody from the 313, put your mother loving
Yes,
hands
that's
up and
exactly what I.
follow me.
Oh man.
Some Motor City fan.
Jerry,
I'm
just because
confused.
I don't think you knew yet, but Mr. Luke Rappaport was over at the Gunner Stadium almost a month ago.
No. No.
Live in action. The game Saka came on. Guy was over there for like 10 days.
Oh yeah. I'm just waiting for ESPN to tell us who the Detroit Lions took, but they're probably gonna go to commercial break after some interview.
Pick's been in for 5 minutes. Trevor's got the bondage string back out.
Yeah, dude, please. I know this has been a long show, but please don't hurt yourself, okay? We don't have that type of insurance.
All the harm here has been mental. It's been 3 hours of thinking about the NFL draft. That's the pain we were being
rough.
inflicted.
It's been rough, but
Trevor's gonna fall asleep here with his
laid up in bed and stuff, dude.
We're only
This is why I
five.
did
We're only
this.
5
I was
picks
like,
left.
we're gonna be up until 11:30. No, we don't got 5. We got 5 picks left. Dude, this thing's gonna get over at 12:30.
No,
We'll be all right.
10 minutes.
it'll be
a
over
pop.
by.
calling off
It'll be
work.
over by midnight.
Aren't you guys doing testing this week, anyways?
We did. We finished today.
Oh, so you got a fun day tomorrow, then, right? Don't they do that now?
Yeah, sometimes. I got to teach about George Washington, Jonathan.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. He had wood teeth.
One
Don't
across
ask him where
the
they came from.
Douglas River, right?
The Douglas River.
The Delaware River, you idiot.
I knew that. I was just seeing if you're still there, Raiders fan, because the Lions are on the clock.
I'm watching. I'm waiting just like you are.
Doing
All right,
history
it's
lessons.
in.
Pete Thamel's reporting. That's great.
Oh God.
Pick is in. My
There you
TV's
go.
so far behind, it's ridiculous.
Eileen
Trevor, who'd they pick?
Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
That's fucked.
Wow, that's a good pick.
Oh, that's so crazy. Ohio
Yeah.
State to Detroit.
I don't want anybody from the armpit coming up to Michigan ever.
Well, he joins Aiden Hutchinson on that line.
I think that's a good pick, dude. He's a
335
It probably is.
35 pounds.
defensive tackle. Nolan, what does Rel think about him as a defensive lineman?
Bro was just, what's the input? Caleb's curious. He is sweet.
Yeah,
Gonna be that
exactly.
man.
If nobody knew Nolan's
Great
roommate,
take.
Rel played. He played defensive line at Ferris State.
I see the jersey line, Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, we know Nolan didn't have that. So
No, that is not mine.
representing.
It's realest jersey I got, Baltimore Colts, 1953, baby.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what you and Jim Irsay have been on tonight, but you may want to get off of it soon.
I needed some whatever Jim Irsay's on after that pick. He still got me stressing. But luckily, you boys made it a good night. Had a good stream.
It ain't over yet.
I really
I'm not
never
leaving
ends.
yet.
It's not over yet. We have 4 picks left.
Four-
I think 4
four
or 5
left.
picks.
Yeah, we're
4
about
left.
20 minutes away from it being done. No, that's generous. We're about 40 minutes away from it being done.
We're all
Oh my God!
waiting.
I feel like you're speaking Asian.
Robot Caleb's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a struggle. I may have to go back to my phone here soon.
Caleb's got to
Is it-
rethink life.
Is there another
Do I have to
trade?
rethink life?
Yeah, dude.
I don't
you
think
just-
I have to rethink life, but
You're on the struggle bus.
maybe
Maybe what?
you know, you get up to the north here and there's no Wi-Fi and you're out of the world and
Just
Yeah, you-
looking off the grid.
Perfect time to host the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a host. I thought I've hosted well. Like some would say, Mike Tirico, Jim Nance, Caleb Sneedsma. Like
I'd give you a 0.5 out of 10 for the way you've hosted the show.
I honestly think that this is proving an Emmy-nominated hosting job here. Actually,
Here we
all I've
go.
had
As
to
he
endure
goes through.
the entire time I've
This
been on
is
a
great.
4.5-hour
This is
road
the
trip.
best. I'm the best.
Give me an Emmy.
Everything that I've had to endure this entire ride up here. I don't see Jim Nance or Mike Tirico sticking it out. They would have left you guys. But
I never
I've
walked
been,
away. I kept
I've been
going.
constant and I've
But
been
that's kind of
true.
impressive, Jerry. That's an
And
impressive impression.
I have stayed the course, and we're still here, and we are 4 picks left. The Commanders are up.
I have stayed the course.
I don't know.
I have not moved. Some people would move by now, not me. I
Not
stayed
me.
put.
I'm an immovable object.
That's impressive.
They call me the Berlin Wall. They only knock me down, but I'll still get bailed back up.
Maybe this will be Will Johnson.
Who knows? Maybe Will Johnson will be an undrafted free agent. At this
He
point,
ain't
I don't know.
drafted.
I think Will Johnson's going to be the. I think Will Johnson's going to be the short. I think you're going to see him tomorrow night. I wouldn't be shocked if the Commanders go Travion Henderson here.
I agree.
that wouldn't be a bad option here.
Um,
They could also go receiver. They could always,
They could go wide receiver.
They could
Luther
also
Burton,
go
this guy's just
college
keep going
guy.
from his guys.
Dude, this show,
They could
this
go
show,
Boston
this,
College guy.
this commercial, this show, Chad Powers looks kind of good.
Yeah, isn't that the character Jared Goff played? Or am I thinking something
I
else?
think so. It looked kind of good. Might have to watch it after I go to the gas station.
Uh-oh.
I think it was. Yeah, I'm starting to lose it. I can feel it.
What do you lose? Your mind? CTE kicking in?
He's been,
No,
he's
it
been
starts
in the
to-
show
it
for
keeps
20
like-
minutes.
I never lose. Maybe some connection, but
A
people
little
connect with me
spinny-
magically.
the spinny thing of death.
So I had to go to school today for a chaperone meeting because the kids are going to camp. And they brought all the kids out, and they're sitting against lockers. And there's this kid, and he just starts going bang with his
Oh,
head
wow.
against the locker. And I look at him, I said, "Dude, you want CTE?" He goes, "What's CTE?" I said, "That's what Aaron Hernandez had." He said, "Bang again." He said,
Oh, my
"I don't
God.
know."
Oh, my God.
Hey,
And that kid ended up
No.
going to the University of Florida,
Hernandez.
Gainesville.
Right.
All right, the Commanders' pick is in.
Salute the
They
Commanders.
got Debo. They got Laramie Tunsil. They got Javon Kinlaw. They got Will Harris.
You give Luther Burden to Jaden Daniels.
Where is
Bringing
Luke
that name
Hockey?
up? But I know I texted him.
Oh, there he is.
Join.
I'm right here, fellas.
Nobody can see his face, but Oxy,
We
do you
could
not
barely
have a
see yours
camera?
all day. Caleb, relax.
Yeah.
3-year-old go to bed yet?
Luke, initial take on the draft pick.
Undecided, but we'll see. I'll probably warm to the pick. Think a little cooked.
They're taking Shador.
They're not taking Shador.
Just scream Shador right here. Give a mentor to Jaden Daniels. Shador Sanders.
I'm hearing
Dude.
offensive tackle here, fellas.
For a while, they couldn't decide what their name was. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not going to be able to figure out who they're picking for a while, I feel like. Who?
Josh Connerly Jr., offensive tackle, Oregon. Yeah, I did not have him on my board.
Between the
Solid.
defensive lineman and the offensive lineman, there's been a lot of linemen going.
Yeah, it's a big draft for that. It's deep draft. It's quality. I mean, the problem with that is that's why nobody talked about this draft, is because there were so many defensive and offensive linemen, and nobody wanted to talk about them. But that's what wins you football games, as the Eagles.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, you have to. Now that Luke Cox is in here, we've lost all the viewers that we in this Steam program.
I can trade out. I can go back to viewer.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I just
Our
won't be able
stats
to
are
drop
hurting.
That's fine. Someone will pop in, maybe not. But no, I mean, so you have these run of offensive and defensive linemen, and it's interesting because it's tough because these guys, it feels like, are safer picks for some reason, but some of them just don't work out, right?
Hey,
So it is a little weird.
you know who his favorite player was growing up?
Oh,
Marshawn Lynch.
So that means that
nice.
man fits the run, which honestly, if he fits the run half decent, what a great pick. If he could fit the run well. Granted, at Oregon, they're throwing the ball so much. Their run game isn't that fantastic. So I'm curious to see how that will fit. But Jane Daniels also just makes magic out of whatever you give him.
Yeah,
give
you
him
don't
four,
have to do a
four
whole. You
ingredients,
don't
he
have
gives
to
you a
do a
5-star
whole
meal.
lot of blocking.
Yeah, you give him like potatoes, a piece of meat, and like rosemary, and you're like, oh my god, that's the best meal I've ever had. That's kind of how he
What a
quarterbacks. So yeah, we're finally treading here towards the end of the last couple of picks. Buffalo up next, the team that just seems to get so close but never all the way through. Where do you go if you're Buffalo?
Let's say defense. Something defense, I feel like.
Trey Amos.
Do they go linebacker here?
They could.
What about
Do
the
they
guy
take-
from Boston
What,
College?
Jihad Campbell? Caleb, is that what you're saying?
Jihad Campbell
Yeah.
from Alabama.
I feel like Campbell would be a good pick here. I'll go back to the last pick though. Honestly, the more I think about it, the way he fit into the Oregon offense and the way that was set up, very similar to the way the Commanders are going to run, where it's like wide open, quick, fast. I think that could maybe be the best fit of any draft pick actually, because it's just based off the system. But yeah, no, I think the Bills probably. I mean, defensively, I think they need some help. They need to learn how to do a tush push, and they'd probably be in the Super Bowl. But the Bills are a tough team because I don't know, because you feel like they're a piece away, but I feel like we've said that the last 5 pieces.
Yeah, but it's also what piece is the like you've picked
That's what I'm
5 of them.
saying.
Where do you go to fill that piece? Like
I'm saying secondary.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely. Will Johnson could be the pick here.
No, but not Will Johnson. I think it's the safety from South Carolina, maybe
Could be.
The Trey Amos kid, the corner.
Yeah, boy.
Which I will say, the safety from South Carolina he's big enough he can play linebacker down in the box as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Pick is
Buffalo
in.
likes to have, but like you said, D-line. I mean, we'll see. This is a team like the Eagles. You need to hit a pick like this. Like you gotta.
Luke,
They might
Luke
be going
Hoxie,
Will
what is
Johnson.
the pick? Luke Hoxie, what is the pick? No response.
you bring him in and then
He's
he
talking.
loses.
He's talking to the sources.
Yeah, clearly. Him and
He's still on Ian
Rappaport.
Rappaport. He's still on Ian Rappaport.
Rappaport and Schefter have just been having a nice little text chain all night.
He's putting Anakin to bed.
Well, the Bills draft room is all standing right now on the feed and for ESPN. Not a lot of happy faces, which is weird.
Jerry, what about those TVU feeds that they have going on there? A couple of them have struggled tonight.
You put them out in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Just like you, Signal struggles, man.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
If you're not even ESPN can do it all, but our intrepid host finds a way to show us his forehead for a majority of the podcast. So
hey, there's nothing wrong. At least I have a 4-head, not a 5-head.
Woohoo!
Hairline pristine.
Who's got a 5-head?
Some people.
I
don't think anybody
girls
in
on
here.
MLB The Show. That girl does, Caleb.
This guy Nolan has a crush on this girl that does the streams for MLB The Show. She works for San Diego Studios. He just loves her.
He probably should send her a picture, his profile picture.
Yeah.
Well, he comments on the stream, so she definitely sees it.
Maybe if she could make her game right, Jonathan. But
There you go.
Oh my!
What
Lord.
is happening here?
Oh, this is it's a big one here.
Oh boy.
You see this guy getting?
Be nice.
Yeah, let's stop.
Hey, Trevor's getting loopy, man.
He was talking about Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
The other guy is perfectly normal. He's talking about Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell's all white, low top Air Force Ones are killing me.
He's a man for the culture. Get it right.
Oh, dude, he's getting them hyped up, man.
But this kid's suit with the turtleneck is pretty epic.
He
That's
looks
That's what I'm
tough.
saying. I want to see
That's-
Trev. I want to see Trev dressed up that nice.
It's
That,
a
that
great
outfit.
suit. Great suit.
No, this kid looks good, dude. This kid is dressed to the nines.
Dripped out with the Buffalo swag on the back too. Come on, man.
And what
He's got
his
the
Oh, he just ran
chains.
to the podium.
blue and red dunks? Is that what he's got on his feet?
Looks like it.
Yeah, he
The
does.
old, the old
He does.
handkerchief. Guy ain't messing around, bud.
And the 2 chains.
That's a bill.
All right, I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
This is stuck into the sources. It's okay, man.
I was
From
in the bathroom on that
Kentucky.
one, but you fellas remember what I was
Yeah,
saying about
right,
Howie
Lou.
Roseman working those phones?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, they took the corner from Kentucky. It's a quality pick.
Dude, Will
So-
Johnson is screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Will
that's-
Johnson is just falling there.
That's
this
another
is-
quarterback.
Look at him.
That's
He's
not
still in
Will
the green
Johnson.
room. Like, this is embarrassing. He's got to shake hands with that guy. And
he's having a worse fall off than Rodgers. What's the deal?
Him
with
and
this, Luke?
Shador.
yeah, but at least Shador's
Well,
not there.
Didn't? Oh, yeah.
What about Milrow? Where's the Milrow cam? He's supposed to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that dude will be in the XFL in a few years.
Does Milrow go before Shador goes?
That'd be
Kansas
crazy.
City trades pick.
Does Riley
The
Leonard go
Eagles.
before Shador does?
All right,
What?
Trev, time to cook.
Why would they trade one up?
Boston College.
Where are we going, Trev?
Boston College.
We're going
Well,
to Boston.
College?
Yep.
Hey, Trev.
Shipping it
No,
to
here
Boston.
they go.
Trev, they're taking Shador.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what's
Dude,
the
I
point
think-
of trading up and then not knowing who you're going to take?
Cleveland won this draft.
I think the Giants won this.
I feel like Cleveland wins a lot of drafts.
No.
And then they-
Like honestly, I think Cleveland.
You're
like,
talking about with the trade
smartly-
picks?
They traded back. They're going to sit at 33, and unless somebody trades up with Kansas City, they're going to get Shador.
Hey, do you think Cleveland sits down before every draft and they watch that movie Draft Day and see how badass what's his name was in that movie?
Kevin Costner.
There you go. Good call.
Hey,
And they
who was
tried to-
repping Bo Callahan? We always know this.
Shador,
movie. Who was-
Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
No, who was the agent for Bo Callahan?
Oh yeah. There ain't no party like his parties. You know what I mean?
Oh, is it P. Diddy?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They thought it was because no one came to Bo Callahan's party there. Actually,
No,
different
they
one.
were. Yeah, they were scared of the agent.
It also
So-
means Madison, Wisconsin had Diddy parties, is what we're saying because Diddy
Yeah.
was Wisconsin quarterback.
The Eagles pick is in.
Hey,
Who
they're
are they gonna
jumping around
trade?
up there, man.
Yeah, all right.
Are they?
Yeah, they
lit?
do that. They do that like in the second half. They play "Jump Around" that song.
The pick is in. Trevor,
I'm so
where are we
nervous.
going?
I think it's going to be that dude from Boston College.
I think you guys are gonna like this pick.
Oh my gosh. Is it Shador Sanders?
Luke is like the voice above, and he just like comes in he's like, Howie Roseman, I told you guys he's working the phones. And then
Sorry
like
about
3
that.
seconds later,
I just got
straight
off
up.
the phone with my guy Adam Schefter. Just had to get my
Oh,
news.
dang. Come on, show us already.
Nah, dude.
Trev, you got at least
We
another
beat
solid
the-
10 minutes here.
I was gonna
bud.
say they're
true.
doing an interview right now. Give it 18
We
more
beat
minutes.
the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and then pick before them. We just dunked
Yeah,
on them
because you
so
guys
hard.
I wonder what you guys gave up. First round pick, future first. Just to
Probably
Saquon
AJ
Barkley.
Brown. Saquon Barkley, yeah.
Actually, you guys gave up Big Dom for the pick.
I think that'd probably be okay with some people.
All right,
Uh,
man. the steam here quickly dying out as we hit 3 hours
Yeah,
and 20
it's,
minutes.
dude, it's rough, man.
This is a long
This
one,
has
guys.
been a marathon.
This is a long
I
one.
was saying let's do round two. Shit, let's keep it
Oh,
going.
gosh. Round 2 and 3. I don't know if we can handle that.
Caleb couldn't handle the easy one where there's only one round.
He missed the first 15 picks.
Well, if
came
they
in
do it
back
the way
out.
Jonathan said, put it to 30 seconds, teams would be panicking.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what you got to do.
That's what happens in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounds.
Just
So,
pick
yeah,
who
what
you're
is it actually
picking.
set to on the second and those?
You
Still like
how
what,
deep
have
do you
three?
to
think I'd
remember
bag?
this is a TV show.
The most important thing is who's going to be Mr. Irrelevant this year.
Will Johnson,
George
maybe
Sanders.
Shador said,
Wouldn't that be awesome? All this
He
freaking
fell
stuff
all
that's
the way.
happened with him, and he goes all the way down to the last pick.
That'd be hilarious.
I'd argue some would say that'd be perfect timing.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his jersey. He got his number retired at Colorado, so he'd be all right.
Now, him and Travis, the Heisman winner and the quarterback who went above 500.
Yeah. Uncle Shay Shay wouldn't like that. He'd probably choke somebody.
I love the explanation of that because a bunch of like older Colorado players like were mad and then like called Prime and were like, why are you doing this? And he was like, if I was your coach, it would have happened by now. And they were like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, we're cool with that. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's what saves him. Hey, man.
You have guys
I
that
can't give you the old
won
one.
national titles that aren't even gotten anything retired.
No. I understood Travis Hunter. I really did.
Yeah, it's fine. Heisman
Yeah.
Trophy. Cool with that.
Sure,
I do, but
Jonathan,
I
I
don't.
know who Mr. Irrelevant's going to be.
Who's that?
Donovan Edwards. For
Yeah,
sure.
you might not be wrong after the year he had.
He might not even be picked, but he's going to be around there.
Don't worry.
I don't
Brady
disagree.
Cook, Mr. Irrelevant's a starting quarterback.
Brady
Yeah,
Cook.
no, he's around that number too. You're right. You're on it, Jerry.
Real ball nowhere.
Where's he going? What team? Well, we got to look at who has the last
Let's
pick.
say who was last pick.
Who does have the last pick?
Hold on.
No one's got it on the shot sheet on his stat.
257.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Brady Cook to Kansas City after Mahomes has done about 5 years.
That
There you
honestly would add up so well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he stays
Jerry had it on.
in the area, stays in the great state.
Oh my God! Don't worry. When the Kansas City Chiefs move to Kansas, then Brady Cook will go to the UFL and play for the Battlehawks.
Wait, are the Eagles going to take Will Johnson?
Yes.
I don't know. Luke Cox said
Travis,
you're gonna like it.
You got to
so-
let us know. This is your team.
I like
Maybe
it. I
they
don't like it
will.
that much.
It's Will
They don't-
Johnson or it's
Oh,
Shador.
they don't like Will Johnson that much.
Who you got,
No,
Rob?
I don't like them
Who the Eagles
that
taking?
Luke, who are they taking?
You want to know?
Will or Nick?
Yeah,
Wait,
we
no.
want to know.
You said yes?
Yes, sir.
No. Luke,
No. This is a TV show.
But I'm
Spoil
saying
it for
I
Trev.
wasn't gonna say it.
Don't say
Thanks,
it.
Luke. Don't say it.
Don't
please.
say it.
Let's play 21 questions while we're waiting on this commercial.
I'm watching
Is
the
it a
Saquon Barkley
boy?
ad. Is that
Is it a corner from Michigan?
Stop. Answer that question, Luke.
you got Trev breaking his microphone here just so he doesn't hear the pick.
Is it a quarterback from Colorado?
Oh God! Say no. You can
No.
answer that one. Please
Is
say
an offensive
no.
tackle from LSU.
No.
Oh God!
Is Trevor going to destroy stuff in his household?
It's defensive. That is all I'll say.
Okay, fair enough.
okay.
So both
Will
of my
Johnson.
guesses, it was Will Johnson or the dude from Boston College.
Oh, they only give him a
Nick?
fifth round pick.
Dude, that's nothing for G's like us.
That's nothing. The Eagles
Mike
have like
Green,
the most picks.
you
in the next
are an Eagle.
third round.
That's my guess. There you go.
Mike Green.
Oh,
Mike-
yeah.
I mean,
Mike Green.
it would only make sense.
I don't hate
From
Mike
one green to another green.
Yeah, the herd.
They do got to
Thunder.
replace Brandon Graham now, don't they? He retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm getting to see the other guys put on their hats as I wait for them just to say the Eagles picked whoever.
Jahad Campbell.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Him and Zach
Expect
Bond.
offensive line help here for the Chiefs.
Expect offensive line help here from the Chiefs, dude. I like that, dude.
They don't play around, man.
They were
know,
really
stick-
strong,
They
though.
stick to their script.
Social media
Bro,
They have
jail
a
goes
really
crazy.
strong linebacker.
Oh, dude, yeah,
That
Zach
linebacking core
Vaughn
is even
and
better now.
Jihad Campbell,
They also have the
N'Kobe
kid from
Dean, and
Clemson. Kobe Dean, the
oh,
kid from Clemson.
yeah.
Fraymore or
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
Oh
What do
my
you-
God,
And
what is
he's
his
pumped
name?
up to be, and he's pumped up to go there, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Chiefs
love
pick's
it, dude.
already
I
in.
love
Wow,
that
that was
pick.
quick.
That's a
What
great
do you
pick.
think
We're
it's
watching
like
this.
sitting in the living room and not getting picked? That's got to be the
It's
worst feeling in the world.
I wouldn't go
ever.
to the draft. I would not go to the draft.
Yeah, I would just be like, I'm not getting picked. I'm not even going.
I would not want to sit there and just be. It's not as bad as it used to be, though. I think that the NFL is like came out and said we're not going to like sit on those guys that drop all the time. So it's not
Right.
as bad as it was with like Brady Quinn and like Aaron Rodgers was, but it would still be embarrassing because it's like, oh, you people know you're there. You walk down the red carpet, you're all dressed up, and you're just sitting there. And guess what? You'll come back tomorrow night like Geno Smith in a sweater, and you'll sit there.
That's true.
Let's go, baby. You better, yeah, yeah.
He's about to take out the camera, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that dude almost got ran the frick over.
I like his energy.
Yeah, he's gonna fit just fine. Look at that dude. I'm so lit. I like that a lot. Luke was right.
Did you just say I'm so lit?
I'm so lit.
Dude,
Dude,
this podcast is going to
it's
end. He's going to fall straight
11:40.
asleep.
Yeah, it's 11:40 at night, dude. I'm exhausted.
Luke, you running the game MLB after this?
You guys get
Yeah, man.
jobs, dude.
I got a job, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you think no one cares?
yeah, that ain't gonna change nothing.
Caleb, you hopping
Caleb,
out?
I am on that route.
He's in the freaking woods.
I'm not hopping, Hunt Hoxie. I barely could do this. You think I could play an online PS5 game right now?
Oh, my Lord. And here we go. 3 hours and 30 minutes. We are near silence.
Defending.
All right.
Undisputed
I will
champions of
slowly
the
start to wrap this up
world.
here. So then when the Chiefs
Dude, the
pick, we
Chiefs
can
pick
all
isn't even in.
it isn't. No, so appreciate everybody that has watched, commented, viewed this 12-hour stream, it feels like at this point. Big shout out to Jerry and Trev Dog there for continuing this thing going as some people were traveling the ocean sea. I felt like George Washington traveling over the Delaware River.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shador Sanders is still on the board, which is surprising to pretty much everybody. Cam Ward drafted, Jackson Dart drafted, and Shador sits there. I honestly think Shador's sitting there because of his dad more than anything. I think if his name is Shador Jones, he's probably drafted by now, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'll just say who I think the biggest winner of the night is. I like what the Browns did. I like it a lot. Now, come September or next fall when they're drafting number 2 again, that will probably be wrong, but I do like what they did. I like Mason Graham to pair with Myles Garrett, and they have the chance to get Shador tomorrow. So, and they got more picks. So I liked it a lot. Anybody else have anything that they like to say about who maybe won the draft?
I like the Giants. I think they got the best player in the draft, and then they went and got a quarterback that they needed. So, yep.
I'm very curious. I think you could play a little bit of a game of who picked the better tight end. You have the Bears at 10 with Loveland. You have Warren going to the Colts at 14. Obviously, very different offenses in different states right now, and depending, it's out of complete one-to-one. But 2 tight ends picked in 5 spaces apart who, depending on who you ask, could have been going in a different direction. And I still think there's a guy who could have gone in the first round tight end wise that's still there in Harold Van Jr. So probably a really underrated storyline. I don't really want to do overly wins and losers because that's so tough on this first day. Shout out to Trev's Eagles getting a little steal here, I think, at the end. If you want to give me kind of a winner here. And we're going to see how the Travis Hunter sweepstakes / experiment goes. The team that is desperate for a true star, right? They kind of thought they got then Trevor Lawrence. He was supposed to be the guy, all these things, and he's been fine. No, but he's not been the top 5 quarterback, the surefire, thing he was supposed to. So I'm very curious. Those are a couple of my big takeaways outside of the big ones. Obviously, Shador, maybe Will
Josh
Johnson
Simmons.
not getting picked. So you have your sliders, Jackson Dart. We could talk about for years, but yeah,
The
the kind of
Chiefs
the
do it
tight end
again.
conversation.
The Chiefs do it again. These Chiefs, this is why they're going to be good for the next 10 years, is they wait till the end of the draft, end of the first round, and they just get one of the better players. Like George Karlaftis, they drafted him late. Trent McDuffie, drafted him late. Simmons here. Yeah, like, dude, this is ridiculous.
Well, they could swing. They're in these lower halves of this because you have a core piece of one, obviously, on Mahomes. So you could swing on certain positions, no problem. But when you're in these later ends, if you have a guy who you think is a real high athlete that maybe you kind of cowtail and hold back for a little bit, you can do that. You're not in a position where you need to get this pick right? If Josh Simmons flames out, you still have a really good team that has made 3 Super Bowls. And you have a coaching staff that will adapt, and there's no pressure for him to be fantastic, unlike in other positions. So it's kind of like the rich get richer, but you don't also have to say, oh my God, if Simmons doesn't work out, are the Chiefs done?
Right.
So
it's just
low risk, high reward.
Crazy how they just get these guys. Xavier Worthy last year. I mean, it's just crazy. All right, that concludes the first round of the NFL draft. I appreciate everybody being in the stream here. Luke Hoxie telling Adam Schefter and Rappaport
Thank you, guys.
On.
Thanks for coming in.
Hey, can we go with our losers of the draft?
Yeah, who do you think lost?
You.
I lost. I think I won the draft. You know what today proved is I have 2 great guys that work with me on this show.
Yeah.
That's
we
what
love
I
you, Caleb.
That is what I learned.
They carry you every week, Caleb.
They do.
Yeah, shout out Trev and Jerry.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Good
like
Lord.
you
I mean,
support
I get
build
home and I
yourself-
start watching the show, and it's like, where the fuck's Caleb at? It's his show. Voice of Caleb is what you call it, and
My
there's
phone
no voice
was
and no
going
Caleb.
to die. Me being off it for 20 minutes, I think, saved the program.
Me and Trev look like the Popeyes employee. The Popeyes employee.
Can we get a points of a month?
Yeah, you can get that. You can get a nice parking spot and everything.
Dang.
Great.
But that's gonna do it for the stream. This is ridiculously long. I don't know how they sat through all these picks. I probably wouldn't have been able to. But no, it was fun. I appreciate everybody who watched and stopped in here. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the stream. Thank you.
Great stream, gentlemen.